Hi and welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games. Stream I am playing Demon's Souls, so sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. The live stream which I'm going to get up and running on my phone right now, get a sound check sorted. Okay, so I need to get realistic when it comes to Demon's Souls. I'm not going to complete this game for a very long time. And when I say a long time, I'm talking months, possibly even years. Like, Demon's Souls is going to be like my modern like Resident Evil. And what I mean by that is, and first of all, hello to my two lovely viewers. You're both very welcome to Green Hill Gaming. Hope you're keeping very well tonight.
Hey.
And I hope you enjoy my Demon's Souls live stream. Hello, Brooke. Welcome to Green Hill Gaming, Brooke. How are you doing? In fact, welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, Brooke. You would have been on my earlier live stream of Avicii Invector. So how have you been keeping since then? And I hope you enjoy my Demon's Souls live stream. So what I mean by my modern Resident Evil is, back in the day when I was a kid playing on PlayStation, I would have played games like Resident Evil, and they would have been really tough for me at the time. And I only completed Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil. It just took me years and years and years to actually complete a game like Resident Evil. Yeah, so that's what I mean by Demon's Souls being my modern Resident Evil. I can't see myself completing a game like Demon's Souls until at least a year. It's a really tough game. When people said this game was tough, okay, they weren't lying.
Get past this, please, face with tears of joy.
Damien, welcome back to Green Hill Gaming. How have you been keeping since my Avicii Invector live stream, buddy? And as always, you're very welcome to Green Hill Gaming, and I hope you enjoy my Demon's Souls live stream. Get past this. Honestly, man, all joking aside, I'm being realistic here. It really is going to take me months and months and months and months to complete this game. That is the reality of Demon's Souls, at least for me. I'm aware that there's very good players out there, that can speed run through this game and fail those people, but I'm not one of those people. It's a really challenging game, so I'm not going to give up on it. I'm not going to put it away. I'm not going to sell it. As I always say, I'm going to continue and continue and continue
GTA
to
6
return.
will be out by the time you get through this part alone.
Man, GTA 6 will be in the bargain bin by the time I actually get past this area alone. I agree with you 100%. I'm going to roast myself, and the funny thing is, it's not even roasting, it's being realistic. That's what I'm going to be in this live stream when it comes to Demon's Souls, is realistic. That's the kind of game that it's going to be. I'm going to be returning to the same. I remember being stuck on Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil on PlayStation 1 for years. Literally
GTA
years.
Online 2 will be 8 years old at the time.
I'm telling you, man, I'll have an 8-year-old by then. That's how long it's going to take for me to complete this game, this area alone, to be honest with you, man. So yeah, it's not even roasting, it's just literally being realistic, yeah. So it took me a long time to complete Resident Evil. I remember playing Resident Evil back in the day, and I would have been on the same area over and over again, a bit like this. And it just took me a very long time to figure out strategies and to figure out, just ways and means of actually completing the game, basically. And that's what Demon's Souls feels like to me right now. Look, I've looked up videos, be it YouTube and be it the official tips that you can get on PlayStation 5, on the home menu, the player cards. I have looked at all of those videos, and it's not going to really help, realistically. That's the main word in this live stream, realistically. Because I know what to do. It's like somebody saying, this is how you cycle a bike, or this is how you wrestle, or this is how you swim. You know, you can tell me how to swim, but I'm still going to have to be the one that has to swim. So I know that I have to time my dodges. I know that I have to roll out of the way. I know technically and mechanically what to do. It's just putting that into practice, and it's tough. Right? This is not like any other game. That goes without saying. You know, again, people are not lying about this game. There'll be different kinds of people who play Demon's Souls. So you're going to get really talented gamers who will just breeze through the game, and you will get people who will crack their disc in half and just burn their copy of Demon's Souls and will never return to it. And then there'll be people like myself that will just accept the game for what it is and continue to return to it, and that's how I'm going to approach Demon's Souls. So the only thing that I can do is just try to have fun playing it, you know, whether it's leaving those random messages, which I'll actually do right now. Actually, I've left a good few there already, to be honest. And when I say random, I literally mean random. I try to make them so random. So let's just start off with a location. So look at look at up, look at down. You know, look at behind you, just to annoy people. Yeah, look at behind you. Like, that doesn't even make sense, and that's why you like it. You know, look at behind you. Okay, so come up behind the hide spot. Here, am I imagining it, or it just looks better, this game. You know, do you know why that is now? Because you're playing a lot of rock and roll racing, and I don't know, maybe it's just like to go from rock and roll full on like PS5 quality game. But in saying that though, I was playing Little Nightmares. Well, Little Nightmares 2 is a PS4 game, so I don't know, it's something about the visuals that just seems to be striking me a lot more. So look, it's about strategy, it's about not giving up, and it's about just staying at it, really. That's the only way that I'm going to be able to get past this area, get past this boss. But you know, as I always say, like, I don't regret buying this game. It is what it is, and yeah, it is what it is. But it was really a wise move to not spend my entire PS5 gaming time with Demon's Souls, and not to dedicate my entire YouTube. It's brutal. You know what, man? You have just summed up Demon's Souls in one word. It's brutal in every way. The gameplay is brutal, as in what I mean by that is, as in, like, you know, it's straight up combat. I can't. I honestly, I can't. It wouldn't make for entertaining content, Damien. Honestly, it wouldn't. Like, I know I'm going to be raging a lot, and I know I'm going to be like snapping when I die, but realistically, it would not make for entertaining content, because how long have I been on this area now? Well over a month. You know, people don't want to see the same thing over and over again. Leave that to the Fortnite streamers. But, like, for me, I want to have something different.
Get Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
As much as, oh god, that's supposed to be hard as well, isn't it? It's really meant to be hard. Yeah, so I'm glad that I made the decision not to dedicate my YouTube channel to Demon's Souls and not to play just that one game over and over again, because it would just mean that I would be so annoyed. So I would just feel so bored, to be realistic again, because they'd be on the same area, the same game over and over again. It was fine with Astros Playroom and Spider-Man Miles Morales and Dirt 5 and Bug Snacks because I was making significant progress in all of those games. And
Same
in fact,
guys
I
that made Demon
platinumed.
Souls, Dark
Oh,
Souls and Bloodborne and soon Elden Ring.
jeez, I didn't know that. That's the game that won Game of the Year, wasn't it? Sekiro. Well, I'm probably getting mixed up now. I'm probably getting mixed up with a different game now, but interesting fact nonetheless, Damien. I'll be sure to add that to my list of games that's going to end me up going bald. End up making me bald. So,
Yes.
yeah. Ah, unreal. I didn't know that now at all. Interesting fact, man. Interesting fact. Thank you for that. So, yeah, so what I decided to do...
Sekiro won GOTY.
That's the one, yeah. Sekiro, Game of the Year. Biggest surprise, to be honest with you. Biggest surprise. I don't think anyone was really expecting it. You know, it was kind of came out of the blue, like, yeah, came out of the blue. Didn't even know much about the game, to be honest with you. So, yeah, so I decided to balance Demon Souls with Bug Snacks, which I
Elden
went
Ring
on
is the
to.
most highly anticipated game ever.
Yeah, I'd love to know why, to be honest, because I know next to nothing about it, and with all due respect to the developers of the game, I
Sony
don't want to
owns
know
stake in
anything.
their company.
Yeah, it's great, like that. You know, Sony has yet again another big, significant first-party title. But to be realistic about it, again, that's that word again, realistic. I literally could care less about the game, and all due respect to the developers, it's just not for me, you know. And isn't it connected to the Lord of the Rings as well? And this is not something I'm particularly a huge
I
fan
think
of.
they're named From Software.
Yeah, you're right about the developer, right? From Software, they actually made, they made this, they made Dark Souls as well, and they would have made Demon Souls as well. So, just not something I don't think I'd be hugely interested in. Like, let's compare that to like a Silent Hill announcement. That would get me excited. That would be my most anticipated game, of all time. So, yeah, so. I've actually kind of went a bit crazy actually with games on PS5 lately. I need to tone it down a little bit.
Sony should acquire them. Bluepoint for remaster/remakes and Housemarque.
Well, definitely with the popularity and critical, success of Demon Souls. Like Demon Souls went down like a house on fire. You know, I mean it in a good way, by the way. I'm never too sure if that phrase is used as a good thing or a bad thing, but Demon Souls was really, really successful, like, you know, so a lot of people liked this game. So I agree with you. They actually should acquire that studio going forward. But I have a lot of games on PS5 right now that I'm playing. So as it stands right now, I've got Demon Souls, I've got Little Nightmares 2, I've got
Housemarque
Sackboy's
has
Big
been
Adventure.
working with Sony a lot in the last 5 years.
Yeah, they should definitely work closer with them or possibly acquire them. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know, it would make sense.
Now they're working on Returnal together.
Oh yeah, Returnal. The Silent Hill-esque game. There's a lot of games that I don't really know what that about, to be honest with you. So I've got quite a good few games now that I'm balancing and rock and roll. The
new
like
trailer looks actually good.
gotta check it. I gotta check that trailer out actually.
It dropped
Uh,
today.
Oh, did it drop today? I must take a look at that. Thanks. I've literally, like, when I think of Blizzard Arcade Collection, all I can think of is Rock and Roll Racing. It's the only game I care about, and it's the only game that I play. So there's that. Little Nightmares, as I said, Sackboy Big Adventure, and Demon Souls, and possibly one or two other games that I've just completely forgot about. I haven't even touched any of the PlayStation Plus collection games, which I want to get stuck into. God of War, full 4K, do a couple of side quests there, and I want to experience Days Gone for the first time, because you were telling me great things
Yeah,
about
there's
that
leaks
game,
about
Damien.
tomorrow's state of play and it's bad.
Also, well, you know, like, this is what I
don't
was
want
actually...
Among Us and Hades /
Oh God, you love your indie games. No, come on, you want Hades. Hades would make your night. No, that would be the highlight of the state of play for you, Damien. Come on now, come on now. And to top it all off, man, Among Us. I mean, you were telling me like how much you want to get your hands on. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. But this is what I was saying yesterday to yourself and Mighty Duck is whatever gets shown on tomorrow night's state of play. Just remember that Sony are working on a lot of other games. Just because you don't see those games does not mean that the games don't exist. So whatever gets shown tomorrow, if it's Among
Imagine
Us,
closing it with Hades. Last time it was Gao.
well, you see, like the reality,
That's in the leak.
realistic reality. Just realised are two of the same words. The reality of it, man, is look, I don't like FIFA, but FIFA is a huge game. But that's my personal preference. I'm not a FIFA fan. I'm not a soccer fan, so I care less about FIFA. But the reality is, a lot of people like FIFA, and it's got a huge following. And the same goes with indies. Independent games are immensely popular. In fact, they're more popular now than they've ever been, which is why Hades was a Game of the Year contender at the Game Awards last year.
Bombard them with dislike if leak is true elbow cut.
Hades is a very, very popular game indeed, and indie games are very popular. That's the reality of it. Like, I mean, I obviously 100% respect the fact that it's not your cup of tea, and I respect the fact that it's a lot
Did you
of.
play Hades?
I actually haven't myself, no, to be honest with you. I mean, like, I can say that a game is like very popular, but it wouldn't necessarily mean that I'd be into it. A bit like FIFA. Like FIFA is very popular.
Then shut your ass up, elbow cut.
No, I won't, because I'm just pointing out that it is a very successful game. I don't have to have the game or play the game for it to be very successful. I'm just pointing out facts. This is a realistic live stream. It is what it is. So you mightn't like Hades, but the realistic fact is it is a successful game. And if it wasn't, it wouldn't be coming to PS5. And a lot of people like to play indies. I like to play indies. I just haven't picked up Hades. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But it can be quite frustrating, and it can be quite a letdown when, an indie game like Hades wouldn't be your cup of tea, and if they do end tomorrow night's state of play with an announcement like Hades or Among Us, I can understand why it would leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. But it is what it is. It's just there's a lot of different kind of games. There's a lot of different kind of gamers, and they all have to be catered for. I mean, the days where
Jim Ryan about to run Sony into the ground faster than the PS3 guy.
Ooh, I don't know about that, man. I mean, there's a lot of great games coming to PS5 from a lot of different perspectives, man. I mean, we're getting a new God of War, we're getting a new Horizon. There's a lot of great games, a different kind of games. I mean, the game I'm playing right now is already out, Demon's Souls, Ratchet and Clank.
A lot of great games going to PC. From PlayStation.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, it doesn't really affect PlayStation. I personally fail to see that as a negative thing. Even if Days Gone and The Last of Us ended up on Xbox and PlayStation, I would fail to see that as a negative thing, because the more people buy the game, the more money is going to the studios and Sony.
Lower
And
Days Gone is €60 El Boca.
but and the more, yeah, because if it was €60, the more money will go to Sony and the studio, and the more platforms the game is available on, then
When
the bigger
we get it free.
I know, yeah, that would be hilarious. And the bigger the audience is, so I just think the kind of people who like react very negatively to a game like Days Gone coming to PC is just your typical fanboy, really. That's what I personally think anyway. I don't see a negative side of it. I mean, the internet will see a negative side on it, but again, they're like the pure fanboys who are like, blasphemy, how dare you bring a PlayStation game to PC. You know what I mean? Just pure like fanboys, and I find that personally hilarious, to be honest with you. But no, I wouldn't look too much into.
Even GTA 6 can wait. It'll be stupid to drop GTA 6 if GTA 5 doing so well and generating money.
Well, I'm confused now. I would say those are two completely different things. To be honest with you now, I would say they're two completely different things and two completely different situations. I don't think that GTA 5. I think if anyone who I think if somebody didn't play GTA 5 by now, then they're probably.
You talking about money?
No. No, well, let me explain further what I'm trying to say. I'm not necessarily talking about money. I'm saying that Days Gone, right, and other PlayStation games coming to PC is not a negative thing. Because, okay, I mentioned money. That's one thing. Because it brings money into these studios to allow for Days Gone 2, or a new Last of Us game, or like a new Horizons game, all of which are gonna happen. Obviously, there's no confirmation for Last of Us 3 yet, but more money means more games. Okay, so that's why I mentioned money. The second thing that I mentioned is the more platforms you make your game available on, then the bigger of an audience you have for that game. Now let's talk about GTA 5. GTA 5 came out 8 years ago. You name one of those games, you name, like, God of War is not 8 years old, Horizons is not 8 years old, and The Last of Us, well, that's, the series is, but the games that are actually coming to PC, I think Horizon Zero Dawn came to PC, and Days Gone is coming to PC. Those games are not 8 years old. So realistically speaking, and they're not as successful as GTA 5. There's a lot of people who haven't played those games. So I can see why those games would appear on other platforms. GTA 5 came out 8 years ago. Who hasn't played GTA 5 by now? And that has made a shit ton of money for Rockstar already. So I think Rockstar
But it's still selling so much because of RP on PC. So GTA 5 be are around for another 5 years.
But none of us are making any of that money. So I personally, I could care less how much money like Take-Two and Rockstar are making, because I don't get that money. So as far as I'm concerned, the GTA 5 situation is different. It's independent to like, you know, to expanding your market for a game like Days Gone or Horizon Zero Dawn. GTA 5 is 8 years old. It's about time GTA 6 comes along. I don't care how much money GTA 5 is bringing in. I don't care how they're doing it. As a fan of the GTA series, and you know, we're both fans of the GTA series, I just think that as gamers, it would be far more exciting for us to play GTA 6 and talk about how much money they're making. And I spoke about that many times, and yeah, that's how I feel about GTA and GTA 6. So yeah, I mean, who hasn't played it by now? Really, like, who hasn't played GTA 5 by now? I mean, it's not like they had to put GTA 5 onto Switch, you know, to make GTA 5 successful. I mean, GTA 5 was successful.
You're missing
like,
out on the Kio Perico heist, El Boca.
I don't even know what it is, and I could care less. That's honest. I literally don't know what it is. I presume it's an online expansion. But I literally, like, I mean, you know yourself, the online didn't really do anything for me. We had a couple of funny moments online, me, you, and Alan, and so we had a few funny moments online. But apart from that, online hasn't really done anything for me. I don't think of online when I think of GTA. I never have, and quite simply, I don't think I ever will, to be honest with you. And I hope that Rockstar put their money where their mouth is, because they came out and they said that single player.
You hated the online because someone stole your car.
Exactly.
You forgot to lock your doors.
And that too, that bastard stole my car. That's the reason I hate the online. No, but realistically speaking, the reason I don't hate the online, you know, I didn't use the word. It's not that I hate the online. I just have no time for the online. It's not what I associate GTA with, and I hope Rockstar put their money where their mouth is, because they say that that single player is very important to them. Well, that's kind of really interesting, considering that in the 8 years of GTA 5's release, they haven't released one single player expansion to the game. So it's quite strange they would say that. Their only focus has been online in the 8 years of the release of GTA 5. So I hope they put their money where their mouth is with GTA 6 and actually, you know, release single player content. Jack Attack.
Rockstar El Boca.
Well, Rockstar, Take-Two, the Queen of England, the Pope, I really could care less. Whoever's making the decisions, that's who I blame. That's who I blame. Jack Attack 95, welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, man. How have you been keeping? And you're very welcome to my Demon's Souls live stream. But yeah, man, Take-Two Interactive, Rockstar Games, Shigeru Miyamoto, The Crow cawing on the wall beside me. Whoever is to blame, man, I mean, they really need to put their money where their mouth is.
Take-Two makes the decisions.
Take-Two, then there you go. Take-Two, I blame Take-Two. Take-Two, put your money where your mouth is. If you say that you care about single player, then how about release some single player content for GTA 5?
Still selling Mario Kart for 100 quid.
For 100 quid. That is fake news. That is fake. I don't think there's any Mario Kart game currently selling for 100 quid at the moment. Last time I checked, anyway. Fake news, boy. Oh man, I'm only stating facts here, like. That's all I'm doing. So yeah, Take-Two Interactive, put your money where your mouth
Spider-Man
is.
free title was revealed.
Oh, was it? What's it called? So yeah, 8 years since GTA 5 release and they haven't released one single player content.
See that, Jack? I was hoping for the Spider-Verse.
That would have made sense, to be honest. Considering that it's going to like have 3 different Spider-Men, you know, and I presume they're all going to come from like different universes, so that would have made a lot of sense actually.
With Tubby and Andrew.
Good old Toby, my guy Toby. But I wouldn't worry too much about what gets announced on tomorrow's State of Play, man. Seriously, I wouldn't, man. I wouldn't. Just always remember that Sony are always working on top quality PlayStation games for everyone. You know, for every type of player. Believe you me. There's going to be something for everyone on PlayStation 5. So, you know, it's okay if indie games are not for you. That's totally fine, man. Trust me, you're not you're not alone there. Like, there's a lot of people
Paul
who
Anderson's
haven't.
MK about to get shat on by the new MK movie El Boca.
I think that a lot of people still love the original Mortal Kombat movie. It's a classic, and it still is a classic. Like, you know, it'll always be a classic. That was a great.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, really? Interesting, then. Maybe they're trapped. They're all trapped in this universe, possibly. No, man. Mortal Kombat. The first Mortal Kombat is a great movie, and a lot of people still watch it to this day. People from all different generations still watch the original Mortal Kombat movie. It's a great martial arts movie. There's great fight scenes, good storytelling. The legendary Christopher Lombard starred in that movie. But the second Mortal Kombat movie is terrible, and Paul Anderson was not involved at all in the second Mortal Kombat movie. But obviously it's 2021. Special effects have come a long way. The Mortal Kombat franchise has come a long way.
Annihilation was the clips I was watching as well.
Oh, stop. You watched the worst. That was the worst Mortal Kombat movie. I can tell you for a fact that Paul Anderson had nothing to do with that movie. Absolutely nothing to do with that movie. They did, some of the actors from the first Mortal Kombat movie reprised their roles. So the character who played Liu Kang, he revised his role in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That movie was terrible. So I can tell you for a fact that the Mortal Kombat reboot movie, it doesn't have to work very hard to be a better movie than Mortal Kombat Annihilation, let me tell you.
Cole is Scorpion El Boca.
I think he's going to be Scorpion's son. I remember saying that last night. I don't think the Scorpion is already in the movie, and he's cast and everything, like he's got an actor playing as him. But I do think that he is somehow connected to Scorpion. Maybe he could be the human side of Scorpion, or something like that. So I'm very intrigued to see what happens there now, to be honest. I see that Paul Anderson has come out and explained to the idiots why you know, the more
being played by a 60-year-old or something.
That's right,
Fair
man.
play.
Fair play to him, 100%, man. Fair play, like to a 60-year-old. You know,
Sub-Zero the GOAT.
I'm more of a Scorpion player. I kind of like the whole backstory behind that character and why he does what he does.
Sub-Zero badass.
The thing is, he's always been a bad guy. This is the original Sub-Zero. It's Boy Han. He would eventually become a noob Saibot, so he always had darkness in his soul. That's why he ended up in the Netherrealm, because he had a darkness in his soul, and that darkness got hold of him, and that's why he became noob Saibot, like a shadow ninja of the Netherrealm. The Netherrealm is basically hell in the Mortal Kombat universe. I was
just about to say that.
So yeah, the Sub-Zero in
Literally was gonna say that.
Shang Tsung, I am Shang Tsung. I can see into your soul. He's the original Sub-Zero. He's Boy Han, so he's a bit more of a literally, as you said there, like he's a badass. Like, you know, he's not necessarily a villain, but he's basically just he's badass.
I've been doing
is the
my
only way to
research
put
on
it.
MK.
I love it, man. I love her. I'm gonna make you a Mortal Kombat fan by the end of the year. I'll have you playing Mortal Kombat. But I will still kick her ass as Shao Kahn. I'm only joking.
You know when he ripped off Jack's arms.
Oh, that was unreal. Full on fatality there, and we're going to see full-blown fatalities in this Mortal Kombat reboot. There's going to be gore, there's going to be violence and fatalities, and it's going to be great to finally see that. You know, it was one thing that was missing in the original Mortal Kombat movie. The reason that was because back then, it's crazy to think, but back then everyone just presumed.
Was it done in games?
No, it's funny. There's a funny history surrounding, you know, Jax's arms being removed. It's been retold so many times. I think the first time you see Jax's arms being removed, to my knowledge anyway, is in the Mortal Kombat reboot game, which is Mortal Kombat 9/Mortal Kombat. that released on PS3 and Xbox 360. In that game, it's Ermac that explodes Jax's arms. Then in the video game comics, it's actually Goro that pulls his arms apart. And I think there might have been some other thing as well. But in this reboot, for whatever reason, they're setting up Sub-Zero as the villain, as the bad guy, so they kind of had him do the deeds. But I'm hyped. I'm hyped for that movie now. But speaking of Paul Anderson earlier, he came out and he had to explain to the idiots why he took the direction.
Also in the movie.
Goro is also in the movie. I think there's going to be a lot of cameos. That's what I would put them down to. I don't think they're going to get full-blown screen time. I think they're going to be cameos. A lot of people felt they saw characters like Cabal and Reptile. And Reptile is getting so much hate that he just... I have to agree. I mean, Reptile looks like Bowser from the Super Mario Bros. Movie, the original Super Mario Bros. Movie, and it looks terrible. So if that is Reptile, it's going to piss off a lot of Reptile fans, I can tell you that right now.
Yes, Sub-Zero is one of the mains along with Sonya.
Oh yeah, he's always been the main character in the series. Like, I mean, like when Mortal Kombat started out, like it was like, Scorpion, Sub-Zero,
Sonya,
Jax. What
were you say about Paul Anderson?
Yeah, Paul Anderson. He had to explain to the idiots why he took these Resident Evil movies in the direction he took them in, and why characters like Claire Redfield and Jill Valentine, didn't become the stars of the movie, and why he focused on Alice as being the main character, and why he told a different story. And it's been what he said was pretty much exactly what I've been saying for years, and it's because if he had just told the stories of the games, then the long-time Resident Evil fans wouldn't get any surprises. They would know exactly what happens, who dies, when they die, and where the story goes. So instead of taking that route, he wanted to tell a new story, while keeping the elements of Resident Evil. And he explained it very well. He said Alice is no different to the many other strong female characters that you play in the games, like Jill and like Claire Redfield. And he wanted to tell a prequel story, like to basically tell a story.
What did you think of Nemesis look in the movie?
Oh, I thought he looked fantastic in the movie, man. He looked amazing. He looked better in the movie than he did in the actual remake, and that's a fact. If anyone disagrees with me on that, they know what they can do, because it looked amazing. So
I agree, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree, man. So I fully agree with Paul Anderson. He told a prequel story, and he centered it around a character that we haven't seen, in the games. So I think to cut long story short, he was trying to surprise the long-term gamers. And if he hadn't surprised them, and if he had just did what the reboot is doing, and just,
Also, sure, I actually agree with the Alice thing. Sure, Ethan is a new character in the games.
Exactly.
And people loved RE7.
And people loved RE7. RE7 featured a brand new character, in fact, characters, in a brand new setting, telling a brand new story. And the fans loved it. So what's the difference in the games? Like, Paul Anderson wanted to surprise the viewers. And in particular, he wanted to surprise the long-term Resident Evil fans. He didn't want to do what the reboot is doing and give you the script of the first two games. Because if he had done that, then the fans would have known which characters were going to die, how they were going to die, and they would have known the story. How was that surprising? He wanted to tell...
I just think people love to hate Paul Anderson, I'd say.
You know what, man? You have just once again summed it up really very well there. People just like to hate. Haters are going to hate. Definitely with Paul Anderson anyway. That's for sure. And no matter what he does, he's going to be hated on. He was hated on for the Monster Hunter movie, and let me tell you, man, I saw that movie there the other night. The full movie on YouTube. I was so happy, and I love that. As somebody who's played Monster Hunter, and as somebody who's a fan of Mila Jovovich, and as somebody who just likes, action movies like that, I fucking love that movie, you know. I see no reason why Paul Anderson should be hated, you know, for that movie. I don't understand. You see, these fans, a lot of these fanboys, you know, they're so, oh, what's the word for it? They're just so bland, like, they're just so basic, like, anything will excite them. You know, take the Resident Evil reboot, oh, it's the Raccoon City Police Department, oh my god. And that excites them, and they get all hyped up, and that's excitement enough for them to, you know, to go out and support the reboot. Like, but they're just so basic. Yeah, they're so basic. You don't have to do a whole lot to excite those people. Paul Anderson took a chance. You know, he took a different direction. He featured, you know, a completely brand new character. It's a pity when you retrieve your soul that your health doesn't actually get replenished as well. It's just your stamina that gets replenished. So yeah, I support Paul Anderson all the way. I feel that movie a journey for me. I mean, when I saw the first Resident Evil movie, I was like 12 or 13. I would have been like 13, 14. I was in second year, I think.
Will there be a reboot of RE movies?
I don't know about movies. As of right now, there's only going to be a reboot of one movie, and depending on how successful that movie is, they probably will continue to release more. But there is a Resident Evil reboot movie on the way, and it's telling the story of the first two Resident Evil games. So it's going to show the mansion incident, the Raccoon City incident, which is basically Resident Evil 1 and 2. The characters are going to be Chris and Jill, and there's a couple of other stars members as well, like Enrico. Wesker is going to be in it. It's going to have Claire Redfield, Leon S. Kennedy, and William Birkin. There's a lot of characters. So one of the things that concerns me about the reboot is how are they going to be able to flesh out the stories of all those characters, tell all of those characters' stories, tell the story of the mansion incident, tell the story of the Raccoon City incident in a 90-minute movie, because realistically speaking, action movies like Resident Evil, you know, they'll only be 90 minutes, and you're not going to have a full, like, 2-hour movie. So that's what concerns me. I really think that reboot is going to be not more than a glorified highlight reel of the cutscenes from the first two Resident Evil games. And whenever I make that point to the fanboys online, they really get angry. You know when you're hitting a nerve, like, you know when you're right when you make someone angry, you know, and they know what I'm saying is right, like. And look, if that is what excites them, if that's what they see as a quality Resident Evil movie, good for them. But I give credit to Paul Anderson for creating a new story, creating a new character in a new setting, all within the Resident Evil universe, and all containing elements from the Resident Evil. I mean, what was Alice doing throughout the entire movie franchise? She was surviving, she was battling Umbrella, and she was fighting zombies. If that isn't Resident Evil, then you're playing the wrong fucking game. You know? That franchise. Idiots, I'm telling you. They're idiots, like. And I'm telling you, the only reason the Resident Evil reboot movie exists is because of the fact that they're feeding off nostalgia. They're feeding off the hatred that people have for Paul Anderson's movies. You know, the original Resident Evil movie franchise started for a love of that franchise. I mean, that's
gold Johnny Boy El Boca.
Thankfully, I have the comments on the screen right now, so they're right in front of me. So you're never going to trick me into thinking that you're chatting Middleton this time. That's hilarious, man. So yeah, I mean, like, I just think fair juice to Paul. I mean, like, let's face it. The first Resident Evil movie came out in like 2002, 2003. So, that's hilarious. I'm looking at the comment right now on the screen. Resident Evil was nowhere near as successful as it is now when the original Resident Evil movie came out. So it was a project created of the series. So Paul Anderson, Milla Jovovich, you know, Michelle Rodriguez, they were all huge fans of the series, and they really wanted to make a video game. And you can see that it was a really low budget movie, you know. They didn't really spend a whole lot of money on that movie, and it became successful. So that's why there's a second and a third. And like, say what you want about the Resident Evil movie franchise, but they were box office critical successes. I mean, they made millions upon millions, which is why there's 6 of those movies. There's not a lot of video game movies that span 6 entries. I mean, you can love or hate the movie series, you know, but you can't deny the success of those movies. But it was all built from a love of the series. That's something that I don't think the reboot is going to do. It's just basically going to... The only thing that the director, producers, you know, and people involved in that reboot movie are interested in is replicating the video game. How can we make that mansion look exactly like the mansion in the games, or how can we make that police department look exactly like the Raccoon City Police Department? And you know, we gotta have, you know, Chris acting like Chris, and just basically replicating the games. Whereas with Paul Anderson, it was like, well, I can't get into his head now, but it was like, okay, how can we tell a story of you know, Alice is a brand new character, and why she's battling against the Umbrella Corporation, you know, what her history is, and just telling all these new story elements and these new settings. And that is what was thought of when Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil movie franchise, was being created. I mean, you know me, I'm gonna watch the Resident Evil reboot no matter what. And I swear to God, I must have completely mauled the Blarney Stone today, because for the life of me, I have never spoken so much, like, consecutively, like, in a live stream in a very long time. I'm just in talk mode right now, like, I'm in autopilot, like, my mouth is on autopilot. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Sugar Rush. Oh, there's a lot to talk about. But I will say it's a great time for video game movies. I mean, like, I'm 100%. I'm still going to watch Resident Evil reboot. You know, and I'll be hyped for it too. But I have to think the trailer for the Mortal Kombat reboot, and knowing that there's going to be a reboot of Resident Evil, it's really, really nice to be a gamer right now. And you know, because I think there's going to be a nice revival, you know, for video game movies. I think they're going to redeem themselves, because video game movies have always been known.
The Xboxes in 9 days.
Oh, it's going to be official in 9 days. Oh, you know what? It's you know yourself, I'm not a fan of that acquisition at all, to be honest with you. I like third parties being third parties. I like multi-platform games. Obviously, you can't have well, you can, but like, obviously it doesn't make sense to have Mario on PlayStation, and it doesn't make sense to have, you know, God of War on Nintendo. I mean, I'm all for first party games being on, you know, first party consoles. I'm all for exclusive games, but I also like third party games, and I also like having the option of what console I buy my games on. And you know, Microsoft acquiring Bethesda completely kills that option, you know. So I'm not a fan of it. Like, and it's not that I'm like, oh, you know, salty or anything. It's just, from a gamer's perspective, it's just not a good move. You know, I don't benefit from that move. Bethesda benefits from that move. Microsoft benefits from that move. I, as a gamer, don't benefit from that move, because I don't own an Xbox right now, and I don't plan on owning an Xbox anytime soon. But I like Doom, I like Wolfenstein, and I like Skyrim. So knowing that I have to buy an Xbox to, I suppose, get the better deal, to get a better version, because there's going to be timed exclusives, there's going to be console exclusives. there's going to be exclusive DLC, you know, stuff like that because of Microsoft acquiring Bethesda, and I'm not a fan of it. I don't care if it benefits Microsoft or Bethesda. It doesn't benefit me as a gamer. I just think a lot of gamers' mindsets on things like that nowadays are very strange mindsets. Very strange mindsets. I don't know what it is, but they really want to get their priorities straight, you know? Like, I don't know. I just think we need to remind ourselves that we're gamers here, and when decisions like that are made, we have to kind of ask ourselves the question, like, does this affect me as a gamer? And I think these huge acquisitions, they do affect us as gamers. It's not really about whether you like Doom or Wolfenstein or not. It's kind of about like limiting your gaming experiences as a result of these acquisitions. You know, you are being limited to the one console, even though you mightn't have any interest in purchasing that console, you know? Like, if you are a huge fan of Doom and you had, let's say...
It will bring the sales up.
But we're not going to be getting any of those profits, man. We're not going to see any of those profits in our bank accounts. You know, for a lot of people who are you know, huge Doom and Wolfenstein and Elder Scrolls fans, they're going to be left with no choice but to actually spend their money on an Xbox console. So they're losing money, not gaining money. Just imagine if you owned all three consoles. I own two of the consoles right now, PS5 and Switch, and I don't own an Xbox. But I know that Mighty Duck, big shout out to Mighty Duck, he owns all three consoles. Let's say that PS5 was his choice of console, and he just liked to buy his games on PS5. Like, I'm probably wording this wrong now, but like, what if he just didn't want to buy it on Xbox for whatever reason? I know he can, he has the option to do that, but what if he doesn't want to? No, that's really wrong. Let's rephrase that. Let's say that his only console is Switch, right? And he just wants to play Doom on Switch for the portability and for the motion controls, okay? Now he would have to buy an Xbox to buy Doom. And that wasn't the case up until now. Up until the acquisition of Bethesda, Doom has always been a multi-platform third-party title, so it's just, oh look, he wants a fist bump my character, fist bump Jonathan Nigel. I know the magic, damn it. Oh yeah, can we talk about the fact that Activision are charging owners of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 $10, which I presume is going to be €10 for the PS5 and Xbox Series X upgrade. That is just so fucking greedy. I mean, considering that pretty much all PS5 upgrades are free, pretty much all of them. I know technically not all of them, but like, Jesus, like, that's pretty greedy, like. And it's a fucking remaster as well, like. You say something if it was a fucking... it's pretty greedy. I don't know how you feel about that, to be honest with you. I mean, it's kind of putting me off now. I mean, okay, €10 is €10, but still. I just think it's pretty greedy. Especially for a company like Activision. They're not exactly stuck for cash, you know what I mean? They're not exactly in any financial, you know, difficulties. Like, I mean, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is getting a free PS5 upgrade, so they're from the same company, so what's the difference? I mean, the way I'm almost looking at it like this. I mean, if I'm going to pay money for the upgrade, I might as well just pay an extra couple of... I might as well just pay, like, you know, 20 more quid or whatever just to buy it on Switch, because it's actually coming to Switch. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, obviously the upgrade for Crash Bandicoot, it's about time for PS5 is free, so no hassle there. But I know it's only €10, but still, I mean, if I have to pay out money for this upgrade, I'm actually, I would actually consider just getting it on Switch and just continue playing the regular PS4 version. I mean, if it was a case of all PS5 upgrades requiring some kind of purchase, then it would be standard, and there wouldn't be a huge problem as far as I'm concerned. But considering that I've gotten Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath upgraded on PS5 for free, considering there's a free upgrade for God of War, considering there's going to be a free upgrade to, I think Doom Eternal is going to be a free upgrade as well. Little Nightmares 2 is getting a free upgrade. There's tons of free PS5 upgrades. So, yeah, if there weren't free upgrades, I wouldn't really have a problem. But it's pretty shitty that they're charging money for the PS5 upgrade, and it's even more stranger that Activision's other game, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, is actually a free upgrade. So I will say this though. I will say this one thing. If they take full advantage of the DualSense controller, and I mean full advantage, no, I mean like full on, like adaptive triggers, haptic feedback, motion control, microphone, everything, right? Everything, 3D audio as well. Apart from the obvious features, like when I say obvious features, I mean obviously PS5 is a full 4K console, so obviously it's going to be in 4K. PS5 is a powerful console, so obviously it's going to support full 60 frames per second. Those are all obvious things to me. I know loading times. It's all obvious, right? That would be a pretty basic upscaling to PS5, right? But like if they're going to charge me €10 for the PS5 upgrade, then I just kind of expect them to take full advantage of the controller, and for other little features, like 3D audio. If they did that, I would be listening. I'd be like, tell me more, Activision, tell me more. But if it's just going to be a pretty much like standard upgrade, honestly I'd be looking into getting it on Switch. Just realised I haven't been picking up any items from the boxes. Oh, look at him. He looks really comfortable, isn't he? He's so comfortable. Look at this guy. What a comfortable way to sleep. So at this stage, I'm going to point out, just already now, at this early stage of the live stream, I'm actually so tired of playing Demon's Souls. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't mean that as in, oh my god, this game, I hate it. It's just really energy consuming to do the same thing over and over again, to get to the boss and die and do it all over again. It's tiring stuff. It really is, just physically and emotionally tiring stuff. So again, like as I pointed out at the start of the live stream, like realistically it will take me months, possibly even years, to complete this game, because it's a really difficult game, and that is why I just simply cannot allow myself to dedicate my YouTube channel to Demon's Souls.
Online.
Switch over to GTA Online. No, I've got a lot of other great games that I can play in between Demon's Souls, and that's the main word there, in between. Like, I'm never going to put Demon's Souls back on the shelf. Like, I'm never going to trade it in. I'm not going to burn it or break it in half. I'm not going to give up on Demon's Souls. I will just play games in between Demon's Souls. Because as I pointed out, it's a really difficult game. No shit, it's Demon's Souls. It's what it's known for, the difficulty.
Get Taxi Chaos.
You know what, man? I was meaning to look into it. I was watching like 2 minutes of Nintendo Life's kind of video review of it. I had it on mute, so I didn't see a whole lot of it. but I'm going to watch more of it. And if I like what I see, I'm going to get it on PS5 because I think it'd be a really funny game to stream. I'm not going to double dip. I only double dip with games that I really fucking, you know, just can't get enough of. I love Crazy Taxi, but the fact that it isn't the original Crazy Taxi, you know, that's why I wouldn't double dip. If it was the original Crazy Taxi, I'd buy it on every fucking console I have that it's available on, to be honest with you. But no, so Demon's Souls is just the kind of game that I just cannot dedicate my channel to because of the fact that it will take so long for me to complete the game, meaning that I will be in the same area on every live stream for a very long time, and that doesn't make for entertaining content at all.
Re-download Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, please.
Oh, not a hope in hell. I'd rather play Fortnite now, man. I'm not saying something. That is saying something. So yeah, it wouldn't make for entertaining content if I had to play Demon's Souls in every live stream and be stuck in the same area for months and months and months, and you know, taking years to complete the game. That would not make for entertaining content. It just would be so repetitive, and it wouldn't be entertaining. Trust me, you would not like it at all. And you know, even outside of my YouTube live streams, just playing the game over and over again, like every day, it's just repetitive. Like Demon's Souls is what it is. For me, it's the kind of game that has to be chipped away. That is, you know what, Demon's Souls is like it's like crafting.
Where's the rage?
It's like trust me, there'll be rage when I get the last boss down to its final piece of health and just get wiped out. Then there'll be rage. Oh, trust me, then there'll be rage. The only way
too calm for Demon's Souls.
I know, it's strange, isn't it? I must be sick. The only way that I can describe my experience with Demon's Souls, it's like crafting a fucking, like, you know those ancient, like, Greek and Roman, like, statues? And they're like, you know, they're chipping away with their hammer, chipping the marble away with their hammer. Demon's Souls is like chip by chip.
Don't want to hurt that hand again.
Oh, stop. I definitely do not want to hurt this hand again. I've only just gotten it back to somewhat normality, and I'm never again going to fucking do something stupid like that. You can bank on that one. Oh, believe me. But it's like, so every time I play Demon's Souls, I'm chiseling away.
Did it close up?
It did. Last week, I took off the final bandage on the finger that had the worst wound. Surprisingly, it actually wasn't the baby finger. It was the finger beside that actually had the worst wound. Took off the plaster, and my hand was as fucking stiff as fucking Kevin Spacey in a fucking opening of a secondary school night. I am telling you, man, it was just so fucking stiff. So the first thing I did, man, was just like, I just bent the fingers as much as I could. So I kept doing that for a good part of a week, basically, shitting it in case I opened the wound further, but I didn't, thankfully. So my hand is pretty much back to normality now, thankfully now. So yeah, it's like every time I play Demon's Souls, I'm chiseling away, chipping away, and I believe that, you know, in months to come, in years to come, I will have completed Demon's Souls, and that will be my masterpiece. My statue would have been crafted at that stage, but it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time. So realistically, I can't chip away every single day, and I can't chip away in every single live stream because it just wouldn't be entertaining. So I have to play games in between Demon's Souls. Games like Sackboy.
This game isn't hard at all, Johnny.
You know what? That is the one chord that will just haunt me for the rest of my life. Because when I first started playing Demon's Souls about a month and a half ago, the first level, I was flying through it. I was sending enemies flying, didn't take one piece of damage. I was like, what is this? What are people talking about? This game is easy. You know, and then I just gets to the boss, and I'm just like wiped out in one go. And I'm on the second level and I can't even get past. I can't even break I can't even break this boss's toenail, let alone like defeat the boss alone. It's just, yeah, so that quote definitely will has come back to haunt me completely. So yeah, games in between Demon's Souls: Sackboy Big Adventure, Little Nightmares 2, Blizzard Arcade Collection, aka Rock and Roll Racing, and I'm gonna like play one of the games as well in the PlayStation Collection. as well. So it's the only way that I can describe it. Like, me completing Demon's Souls is like chiseling away, crafting away, you know, like a giant marble statue, you know. And you don't create giant marble statues, you know, overnight. You look at some of these like statues you see like in museums, you know, like they weren't crafted overnight, you know. It took time, it took attention, it took skill, and that's what Demon's Souls requires, and that is why I just can't dedicate my entire channel to this one game, and it's why I can't, you know, play it over and over again. I gotta play it again in between as well. What you will be seeing is quite a few games streamed on my channel. I'll be playing quite a few games on and off. I won't be streaming every game that I'm playing. There'll be times where I'll play a game and I won't stream it. So if you do see me streaming a game, and then the next time I'm streaming it, I'm like in a different area, just bear that in mind. I'm not going to stream every game that I play. So yes, I'll be playing. Run. No. Oh, my stamina is. Oh, I just got sandwiched. And yeah, I am actually surprisingly calm for playing a game like Demon's Souls. I think it's because I'm just so used to this level now. I'm just so used to how hard the level is, and I'm so used to how hard that boss is. I just don't think I can. I think the rage is gone, but if I do eventually complete this boss and get onto the next level, then that's where the rage will resume. But then, no, in saying that though, I'm telling you, like, if I get this boss's health down to, you know, towards the end, and then it just makes a comeback, then you will see rage. Oh, believe me, if you want to see rage, if you want to see true rage, see me when I get to the end of the 16th Knitted Knight trial, the 16th Knitted Knight trial in Sackboy Big Adventure. See me get to the end of that in 9 minutes and 58 seconds, looking at the finish line, the checkered finish line, and just falling off somehow. Then you will see rage. That will be just raw rage. I think I'll just stop gaming. Like, I'll just delete my YouTube channel, sell my PS5, I just move to a fucking isolated island somewhere and just curl into a ball and just rock back and forth like a fucking motherfucker. Trust me, man, that is rage. Like, that level alone is like the Demon's Souls of platforming. I am telling you, like. I think what I'll actually do with Sackboy Big Adventure is I might just put that level on hold for a little bit and just focus on the levels I haven't completed yet on the bonus world, and then come back to the 16th minute trial. So I feel like it's really putting everything on hold. Like, if only I could do something like that with Demon's Souls, but with Demon's Souls you don't have a choice. Like, you're stuck on whatever level you're playing. You don't really get to choose which level you play. You don't really get to choose which boss you're fighting. It is what it is. You're stuck with whatever level you are. Oh, that's actually freaky. I had a candle lighting. Well, it's one of those. What do they call them? What do they call the small candles? Tea light candles or something. It was lighting, and it's been outed. Dun, dun, dun. That's actually kind of scary. Those candles don't normally go up by themselves. I'm scared. Thankfully, I'm not playing a horror game, to be honest. I see Capcom teasing me with the whole Chris Redfield story in Resident Evil Village.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Mighty Duck, and welcome back to Green Hill Gaming. How has your day went, Mr. Mighty Duck? Did you go for a swim in the pond? Did you get some bread? You're very welcome to my late night live stream of Demon's Souls. And Mighty Duck, I've summed up what my experience with Demon's Souls is going to be like. It's like
Splatoon day again, lol.
Splatoon, you know what, man? You're dead right. You're dead right. I still haven't played it yet. You are dead right, man. It's crazy times out there, and anything and all that you can do to pass away the day and to enjoy yourself is a good thing. But me playing Demon's Souls is chiseling and crafting away at a marble statue. Do you know those marble statues you see in museums? You know, they take a lot of time to make, and completing Demon's Souls is going to take a lot of time. It's a bit like years ago, like when I would have first played, you know, a game like Resident Evil. It took me years to complete that first Resident Evil. It did, a lot of years. It took me a long time to get 120 stars in Super Mario 64. So it's just one of those games. It's just going to take months, possibly years to complete. So it's going to take time. You know, chipping away and chiseling away. You know, every now and again. But there's no way that I can dedicate my YouTube channel to this one game, because it would be the same level over and over again, and it's not entertaining. And yeah, I know I've said it like a million times in the live stream. I apologise. But yeah. So how are you progressing in Splatoon 2?
You man, it will take time. The lads who I know who platinumed this game play Shunim THR original, so they know what to do and how to defeat.
Oh my god.
Level 30 online.
Level 30 online. First of all, congrats on reaching level 30 online, man. That's pretty cool. That's pretty good. That's a good accomplishment. And I would like to sit down with those lads who platinumed Demon's Souls, and I'd like to carry out some tests on them. You know, just a few basic tests, you know, just to prove they're human. To prove that they were born on planet Earth. To prove that they don't have some sort of, you know, superhuman abilities. That's what I would do.
One of them is Lofty. The other lad is my mate Adrian.
I've heard about Lofty, yeah. He's the guy that used to work in GameStop, wasn't he? Fair fucks to them, like, I mean, for platinum Demon's Souls. It is a very precise game, that much I know. As in, it's grand to say, like, some games you have to dodge and you have to roll out of the way and you have to block. And I'm used to games like that, but this game here, Demon's Souls, is the kind of game where you have to very specifically, can't say the word, specifically dodge. So there's a very peculiar and certain way to dodge, and a very certain and peculiar time and place to dodge and roll. And I think that's what it's going to come down to at the end of the day. I've had a patience, really.
There is one game harder than this, and Adrian even told me.
I don't even want to know what that game is. I'm going to end the live stream right now. I don't think I can cope with a game harder than this right now at the moment. No, I'm only joking. Tell me. I think Damien might have actually told me already. Is some game that starts with an S anyway. I can never pronounce it. I'd say there is. I'd say there's tons of games that are harder than this. I mean, that's actually one of the things I actually said at the start.
That Capcom game coming to Switch.
A Capcom game coming to Switch? What game is that? Oh, don't say Ghosts and Goblins. I can't see that
Sekido isn't harder, it's same.
Oh, is it? Similar, so. What's that Capcom game coming to Switch? Don't say it's Ghosts and Goblins. Christ, that's just a platformer. Not that platformers
That's the
can't
one
be
man.
tough.
What's up, Duck?
Are you serious? Oh, there's no way. There's no way in hell that Ghosts and Goblins is going to be harder than Demon's Souls. I haven't played. Actually, I played a little bit of Ghosts and Goblins, the original, on the I think it was the Virtual Console, far back as the Wii. I think I played it somewhere anyway. I fail to see. I can't agree with that personally.
You man, it's rock hard. I remember everyone even saying that years ago.
Ah, well, look, it might be a hard game, but as I pointed out, I've played a lot of hard games over the years. But like, I don't think I'm going to be stuck on a level for a month and a half in Ghosts and Goblins. I mean, put it that way, you know. Jesus. You know what's pretty cool as well about Ghosts and Goblins is that the producer of Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7 is actually the same producer of Ghosts and Goblins on Switch as well. So he's got a pretty big title at the moment, like, you know, Peter Fabi. I just call him Peter. He's I think he's the producer anyway of Resident Evil Village and Ghosts and Goblins. He looks like a fucking goblin, to be honest with you. If he's listening, I'm sorry. It's actually funny how they brought him into the game as well in Resident Evil Village. He's one of the ghost hunters in the VHS tape in the opening of the game. But I was saying earlier, Capcom teasing me today on their Facebook page. They posted like a screenshot of when Chris Redfield and one of his
Few more weeks
colleagues.
until Monster Hunter. So excited.
I'd say you're hyped. I can't decide whether I'm going to get it or not. That demo just put me off. Maybe I wasn't, because you got to bear in mind, I was playing that when my hand was still fucked and I didn't know whether my hand was going to be, like, you know, fully normal again. And I think it was literally the day after I had my stitches taken out, and I don't know, maybe my mind wasn't in a good place at the
I
time.
have the console pre-ordered too.
Are you serious? Are you mad? What did you get the console for, you crazy fucker? Here, Damien Derby, like, Johnny has every single Nintendo Switch game. He's not going to miss out on anything. He's a Nintendo fanboy. And I'm only joking. But go after Mighty Duck there, please. Go after Mighty Duck there now. That's mental. So why would you buy a second Switch console, you crazy bastard? Why would you do that? It's a great looking console, yeah, but Jesus Christ, man. Why, like? That is just mental. Like, Nintendo will love you for that, like, but I don't think your bank account, I don't think your wife will love you for that. Oh, God.
Your man giving the Switch for Caitlin just dance, as she can't play it properly in handheld.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't realise that. That makes sense to me. Like, if I went away and bought the Switch console, then I could be called up, because. But that does make sense. That doesn't make sense. I can see why not. That's a nice thing to do as well, actually. That's a nice thing to do. But I'm thinking maybe just giving that demo another go. Although I don't know if it's still actually. I think that might have ended actually. That was actually only a demo trial. If it's still available, I might give it a go tomorrow. I just felt like there was just so much information. Like, I don't think it matters, like, how big your brain is. I don't think it matters how much you can concentrate. Like, there's no way you can take in a large amount of information. You just can't. Like, this is the map, and like five pages of information talking about a map, and then you go on to, like, this is your health and stamina, and 5 pages explaining your health and stamina, and then combat, and then exploration, and then camera controls. I mean, like, first of all, it takes a lot of time to read that, and then you have to take all that in, and it's just, I just don't like, you know, I just don't like all that, you know. I mean, realistically speaking, like there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's only really 12 buttons, not including the left and right analog sticks, that you actually have to press. So like realistically speaking, I mean, if I didn't read all that, and
I preferred when they never told us what to do, like on the wheel.
Oh, that's probably true. I think maybe that's the best way to do it. Like maybe it's just best just to go into the opening section of the game, press all the buttons, understand what I'm doing, and just do it. You know. But saying that, then like they're still gonna. I don't know whether I'm gonna get it or not. Realistically speaking, I don't know. I gotta say, it does look like a very fresh Monster Hunter game. Like, you know, they've been doing that since Monster Hunter World now. They really have injected a kind of new leash of life into the series. And definitely with Rise, like with the whole what's it called? Kind of the grapple hook kind of mechanic, the bug something. Not bug snack, no. Damien's favourite game, bug snack. I'm gonna go. And other things as well, like, so it's a very fresh Monster Hunter game, so that would have me interested. But just the amount of tutorials, Jesus. Like, you'd have to really.
Sorry, I've only seen how you Damien house things, man.
Yeah, you completely ignored Damien. How dare you? I'm only joking. It's happened to me a few times, so you'd feel awful, wouldn't you? I bet you feel awful right now, Anthony. What might you do? Trust me, it's happened to me a good few times, and you're like, oh my god, you'd be panicking. Well, I would anyway. And one time there was and like my comments weren't showing up, and this was before I had the computer voice turned on, right? So like there was all these people leaving comments, and like then they would normally show up, because this is back when I had the comments displayed on my TV. It was back in the PS4. So there I am.
I feel like a prick for not saying hello when I didn't see it.
Oh, you're okay, man. I often felt like that way as well. But that's what was happening. So the comments were like displayed on the TV, but for whatever reason, other people's comments that they weren't showing up. And I think my dad was telling me it, like, and I came across and there was a load of comments from people, like, and I was like, oh my god, I felt so bad. I was like texting people and everything. I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't see your comment. I'm very like that, like in real life too. Like, you know, if I like you know, like, so, you know, like if you were like in town and you like saw somebody, like, but you didn't really see them properly, because I'm blind. I'm blind as a bat, like, you know. And then like they'd be there, like the next time they see you or talk to you, they'd be like, oh, you were pure snot. You never said hi to me. You know, you never saw me. So yeah, man, it's the worst. It's the worst. Monster Hunter is, I might just give it I might just hold off on it for a bit, because I do have a lot of games as it is. Some of the games are quite old, like, you know, like Super Mario 3D World now. Like I've just reached the bonus world in that game, and well, obviously there's Bowser's Fury as well. I want to finally go back and complete Super Mario Sunshine as well. I want to 100% that game. I never actually 100% did Super Mario Sunshine. Control, I'm more or less at the end of that game.
I will try and sell it to you when I play it, man.
Oh, I thought you meant you were going to sell it to me, as in like you were going to give it to me. Yeah, you're going to have
My
to.
Switch collection is mad, but Splatoon has taken over, man.
Yeah, that's what happens to me with a few games. Like there'll be just one game that I just like spend a lot of time on. For the last like over 2 weeks now, it's actually been Super Mario 3D. Well, surprisingly, actually, really, because I wasn't even too sure whether I was going to get that game or not. I was like, had it on Wii U, but the whole, Bowser's Fury sold me. The online sold me, but don't get me started on how much of a letdown that was. But no, I ended up buying it, and nice little steel case as well. There's a few people online. I don't know if you came across this, Mighty Duck, on the Nintendo Switch Ireland Facebook page. A lot of people didn't get their steel book.
I'm on World 3 and that's still so taking my time in it.
Take your time with it. I was flying through it though. I don't know why. I just kept on, and I was perfecting every level as well. Like I was getting the gold flag and getting all the stars and the stamps and everything. But yeah, I mean it's good to take your time with a game as well. But yeah, the lads didn't get their steel book anyway. Like, and they were like, "Did any of you not get your steel book?" I was thinking, "Oh well, I'm not going to get my steel book." I didn't really care, to be honest with you. But no, when I opened my parcel, then there
I've
was
seen that man
steel
all
book.
right, some people saying they never got it.
I think it was just pot of luck, really. I got mine anyway, so I was happy out. Did you see the comments lately for people asking questions about GameStop? So like, has anyone ever ordered from GameStop and not gotten their product, or has anyone experienced something negative with GameStop? And I'm thinking to myself, are you living under a fucking rock? Like, I mean, but this is GameStop we're talking about here. Like, first of all, why would you even shop in GameStop? Why would you even order from GameStop when you can get your games in Smiths for far cheaper, and you can get your games on time? It's just so funny, like, And then they act all surprised, like, when you actually tell them just how shit of a fucking service they actually are. Like, it's just, you know what I mean on GameStop. You know what I mean in GameStop. It hasn't ended. But yeah, it's just, why are they so surprised, like, by GameStop? It's brand new.
I quit altogether with them. Had a massive row in store day of lockdown.
Oh, tell me. I'm glad that you had this row with them, because you've finally seen the light. You've finally seen the light. I'm glad now that you finally had this moment. I probably had my moment when the collector's edition of Doom Eternal was listed for Switch on their website. Like, it's one thing if it was listed on fucking 4chan or Reddit or someplace like that, but on GameStop's official website, a product listed. So I went in and I wanted to pre-order a product from them, and then they were basically trying to say like, oh, it doesn't exist and everything else, and just fucking so like annoyed with them. Like, let me just tell you one thing, right? And this is not just limited to GameStop, by the way. This is limited to every business in existence. The day where the customer is always right is no more. You are now a pest. You are now an annoyance if you phone up customer service. There is no such thing as customer service anymore. There's just customers being annoying. They just don't want to deal with you, and they will basically see you as an annoyance. And that's really so fucking wrong. When you're a paying customer and you're there to give them business, you're there to fucking provide them a paycheck, essentially. Like, people need to realize one thing, when it comes to business, right? Any kind of business, right?
I went in the day. This guy Ed Graham, who has no customer service whatsoever, shop of 4 people in it. I walked in the door, rant on.
Wait, no, the YouTube isn't allowed big massive comments. So I went in today. This guy, Graham, who has no customer service whatsoever, shop of 4 people in it. I walked in the door, Anthony, I'm closing up in 5 minutes, shutting the door. I said, why? Oh, nothing worse. There's nothing worse.
Telling me that there is others here. I'm not into chat to you to tell I'm into look for a game. I said if you ever speak to me like that in Fro.
Wait, no, I look at the rest on it. I'll look at that now. The rest of the comment. If you ever talk to me, snap that up. Oh, legend. You know, I mean, you're exactly right. Exactly right. So I think at this stage, GameStop just get told to treat people like shit. I think that's just, it must be part of their training at this stage. I mean, I'm so glad that you've had that. I know
This was 3 p.m. in the day. He shouldn't have been closing until 6.
He shouldn't have closed. Lockdown or no lockdown, he shouldn't have been closing it. He can't just make up his own opening hours. Do you know what I mean? He can't make up. I mean, he should have either chose to stay opened during lockdown or stay closed during lockdown. But obviously, I presume this was the time when...
And I told him, do you not remember from years ago you personally owe me money?
Oh, he personally owes you money. Sounds like an asshole, to be honest with you. But as much as it was
forgotten.
As much as it was a bad experience for you, I'm glad you had that experience, because I've been dealing with, I literally have been dealing with these kind of experiences with GameStop as far back as the Wii days. I mean, I had to walk, among the times that I've had to walk into a GameStop looking for a game that was due out on that day, and to see that it wasn't there, wasn't on the shelf. So what do? You go to the counter, you speak to a member of staff, and you basically ask them, is this game out? And you say it to them, and they are like, what's it called? You say it to them, and it's like you're talking gibberish. And then they're like, what's it on? And you tell them the console it's on. Is it out today? Is it out today? I'm like, no, I'm just here asking, is this, I'm asking, do you have this game for the fun of it? Is it out today? They say. That has got to be the most annoying thing that has ever been said to me in GameStop. And believe me, a lot of annoying things are said to me in GameStop. I mean, is it out today? I mean, that's something I ask them. The fact that they ask me, is the game out, is so annoying.
Currys and Smiths is my go-to. Now they're right beside me, lol.
You're sorted then. You're sorted. For me, it's Smiths all the way. I think we have a Currys out somewhere in Mahon retail park. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, imagine those kind of experiences. Just so many times I've had those experiences, and it's just so annoying. And they're saying, it hasn't arrived yet, and I will never forget when they quoted Nintendo Ireland. They don't even exist. There is no Nintendo Ireland. There's Nintendo UK, and they're responsible for, it's basically Nintendo UK and Ireland, and they're responsible for distributing games across Ireland and UK, and that's how it operates. There's no such thing as Nintendo Ireland. Yeah, don't get me started on my experiences with GameStop, man, down through the years. Just so many frustrating experiences. But once again, man, let me just tell you that the days where the customer is always right.
I bought Kathleen Lego City on Switch ID in Argos, and I can tell you their staff needs some respect too.
Oh man, you'd come across it in a lot of places, man. Trust me, you come across it in a lot of places. I'm not messing with you. And this has happened to my mother as well, actually. She actually bought a DS for herself a couple of years back. I think she was buying a game on it. She was either buying a DS or it's a game for it. And the staff in Argos more or less turned around and said, that's for a child. Something like, but the DS was really branded for like adults, like not hardcore gamer adults, but adults. It was like, you know, you had adults who were like, you know, playing brain training, and you know, so like that was kind of really bizarre. You know what I mean? I wasn't there at the time, but if I was there, I would have went into a big massive rant with this bitch, to be honest with you. But yeah, imagine that. And it's kind of happened to me as well, kind of like low key. You know, I often went to the Argos and I bought like a Mario game, and like they'd say, they'd look at the screen and they'd say like Mario, and they'd like laugh at you, like, you know. I don't really care anymore. I mean, if it was like years ago, I would have probably like jumped off the counter and just like fucking slapped the head off them.
They shouldn't comment on what anyone is purchasing.
Yeah, exactly. They should not be. I mean, they're making money. I mean, that's what I can't understand about customer service and business in today's world. I mean, do they not realise that we are their paycheck? We are a walking paycheck, walking into their business, ensuring that they collect the paycheck at the end of the week. Because that's how business operates, like, you know. You're not in business if you don't make money. How do you make money? You make money when customers buy your service and product. So how they can't see that is just beyond me, to be honest with you. How they don't appreciate that is beyond me.
Did you know Smiths can be brought to court too?
Oh, why? Oh man, it's all drama right now. You know, Smiths aren't perfect either. Like, I mean, I'll tell you that right now. Like, I think really, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the staff. You know, who you get at that particular time. I always have
they
this.
gave you 2 weeks. If console is broken, etc., bring it up with Sony.
Okay. Oh. That's, yeah, like, they could be. It depends on like, put it this way, right? If you bought a PS5 off Smith, brand new PS5, if you could get your hands on one, that is.
Undery, your transaction is covered up to 2 years.
Oh, it's definitely, it would
retailer.
be. It would be, but another thing as well, right? This whole thing about, like, the retailer passing the bucket to the manufacturer, like, you know, Smith's passing the bucket to Sony. Here's the thing, right? If you bought a brand new PS5 off Smith's and you brought it home and the box was damaged and you opened it and there was a crack going down in the middle of a PS5 as a result of, let's say, you know, a member of staff dropping the box, then that's not down to Sony. That's down to Smith's. So Smiths can say whatever they want about, you know, send it back to Sony, but your issue would be with Smiths, and Smiths would be the ones responsible for, you know, either providing you a replacement or a refund. If you, however, experience a well-known, let's say like console bricking situation on the PS5 that's like well-known, then your issue would be to do with Sony, and Smiths could do very little about it. So that's where Smiths need to understand where they actually are responsible and when they're not responsible. Again, if it is to do with the console in terms of its firmware, in terms of the software of the console, you know, then it would be down to Sony to address that issue. But if you bought a PS5 and again you bought it home and the box is damaged or the console is physically damaged, then they can't really say to you, send it back to Sony. They can't. They just have to provide you a replacement or a refund.
There is a PS5 stock page on Facebook. Someone got their PS5 in the post. The box on outside was destroyed.
Oh man, that actually reminds me of a video I actually seen of a delivery guy.
It's Irish page, but the box was really damaged.
Jesus, oh, it mustn't be this one. So I think this one was either America or England, but they dropped off the PS5. They literally dropped it, like they literally just flung it.
Console was fine though.
Outside it, or handy enough, so I wouldn't mind that too much. I mean, I wouldn't be that kind of person now that would kind of complain. I mean, if I got a PS5 and the box was damaged, but the PS5 was working fine, I just wouldn't care. Like, you know, I know like a lot of people, they're very.
Was in post who delivered it from Smiths.
Ah, Must have been. It must have been fucking. Because this video, what it was is the guy, the delivery guy. Oh, I'm at a stage nowhere. I'm beyond tired, so my vocabulary is starting to drop now. But this guy, he got out of the van and he basically just dropped the PS5 on the back on the floor. Don't know if the console was damaged or not. He was caught on camera. This guy had like a camera on, you know, the door cameras, like fancy American stuff. I wonder if the same situation happened. I remember getting my PS5 at the door, man. What a moment! It was really. It was the first time that I ever got a console like delivered to me, so it was a really interesting launch day. PS5, one of the most interesting launches of all time, to be honest with you. And I keep getting this fucking mixed up now, but I'm trying to think. PS1, PS2, PS3. Yeah, PS5 is the first PlayStation that I actually bought on launch. I got PS1 after launch, I got PS2 after launch, I got PS3 well after launch, PS4 after launch. So PS5 was the first console I actually bought on launch. I was going to say at one stage that it was the first PlayStation console that I bought out of my own money, but that's obviously not the case because PS4 I bought out of, well, PS4 was kind of like my entire Wii collection. That would be so hard for some people to believe that I actually did that. Like that Johnny, Green Hill Gaming.
My postman told me back last week that he was delivering a PS5 in November. The guy took €1,000 insurance out on it to cover it until he age.
He took 1,000 to cover it until he had it in case it went missing. Jesus Christ, that's taking things a bit far now, isn't it? I was really lucky that I got my hands on a PS5, and I owe it to Damien. I was going into bed the night of the PlayStation 5's reveal, where the PS5 got a release date and price. I was heading to bed, and in my mind I thought, okay, new console coming out, same as any other console.
Isn't that crazy, man? I was amazed by that.
Yeah, it is, because my mentality, when the PlayStation 5's price and release date got announced, my mentality was like any other console. I thought to myself, okay, tomorrow morning I'll make sure that I pre-order my PS5. Not to worry, no bother. So I'm putting I'm heading to bed now. This is like midnight or something like that. I'm heading to bed, hyped for PS5. I'm putting my phone charger into my phone, and I see like a ton of Facebook missed calls from Damien, and then he was calling me. I was actually getting worried, to be honest with you. I thought something was wrong. So Damien is like, you need to pre-order your PS5 now on Smiths. And I was like chatting away to him about the PS5. Oh, and he's like more or less like, why don't you just shut the fuck up and pre-order your PS5? He didn't say that, but more or less like. So it was so funny. So if Damien hadn't given me the heads up, to go on to Smiths and pre-order my PS5, I wouldn't have had one, because within minutes of me actually pre-ordering my PS5 on Smiths, it went out of stock. So I am one of the lucky few that actually managed to get a PS5 on launch, and I owe it to Damien. I really do. So thank you, Damien. It was really funny though. And he will always remind you and me that he made sure that he got his PS5 before he told me. But still, I appreciate it nonetheless. Oh, but it was a crazy launch though. It really was. It still is a crazy launch, really, to be honest with you. I mean, like it's not a perfect launch by any means, but I think obviously, like, COVID.
I brought Adrian in my car on launch day to get it.
I was so glad when you actually got your PS5, man. But I suppose like COVID does have a lot to, just a big part like in that, like, but it is a pretty crazy launch. I mean, because again, that was the mentality that I had. In my mind, I thought to myself, I will just pre-order the following day, and yeah, so that was the same as it was for any console, really. You know, no matter how successful it was always a case of like, you go in like a day later or even a few days. I didn't pre-order my Wii until very late actually. It was so long after like the Wii got announced for the price and everything. Like, I mean, I could tell that story. Like it's a big story. Like, how I ended up buying a Wii. I won't go into that entire story. But I was late to the party, like basically, like, and went into the game at the time, good old game, and I was so lucky, like, that they were still taking pre-orders for the Wii. So it's been a similar situation for the PS5, really.
I was on a Wii waiting list, haha.
I didn't even need to be on a waiting list. That's the weird thing about it.
That was an insane launch.
I remember that launch. It was a morning launch. Oh, what a moment. That was one of the first games I played, obviously, because I bought Twilight Princess on the Wii, and it was my first time playing a Zelda game, and the music, the atmosphere to it. I just remember being in the opening village of the game, like where you're looking for the cat. The shopkeeper's cat has gone missing, and there you are with your fishing rod, and you're doing the fishing, you're catching the fish, so the cat will follow you back to its home. And I remember the music just being so relaxing. I just remember feeling so relaxed playing that game. My first time playing. Obviously, it's a very difficult game, and the relaxation kind of goes out the window very quickly when you actually get stuck into some of the temples. But actually, speaking of Zelda, this is funny. This is so funny. At the moment, Nintendo. Well, not Nintendo. At the moment, the Legend of Zelda series is celebrating 35 years. In fact, yesterday was the official 35th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda. Nintendo didn't even open their mouth. They didn't post one single thing saying, Zelda is 35 today. But you know who did? Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer basically congratulated Nintendo and the Legend of Zelda on its 35th anniversary. It's like that guy. Oh God, he just never stops praising Nintendo. But I did see one comment though, and I actually have to agree with it. Like, it's like this guy is so nice, like, to Nintendo. Yeah, he's so nice to Nintendo, and he's so nice to PlayStation. Hi. And he's always congratulating private install survey videos signature. Well, that doesn't sound...
It's the most iconic game along with Mario ever made.
Well, that guy doesn't sound one bit suspicious. That sounds legit.
Oh, okay.
Nonetheless, private install survey videos. Welcome to Green Hill Gaming. How are you keeping? Do any surveys lately? You're very welcome to my late night live stream of Demon's Souls. The most iconic game along... Oh, definitely. One of the most iconic games. I mean, the games to this day, like games like God of War. Oh, okay. No surveys. Games like God of War are inspired by the foundation.
There is I.
Of the foundation of
there isn't comments showing.
There isn't comments showing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to put him into, because this is the second time he said okay, so I'm just going to put him into... It's something very suspicious. I'm sorry, I don't mean any offence, private install survey videos, but I've had a lot of strange experiences on my channel before, and I just have to say that the name of your YouTube channel is a bit suspicious. Mighty Duck has told me that comments aren't showing up, and you have just said okay twice.
From that other person.
So I am just going to put you into timeout. I hope he doesn't mind. He or she doesn't mind. Yeah, so there was a comment, and it just pointed out the fact that, Phil Spencer is always praising Nintendo and congratulating Nintendo, like on the launch of their console, or like 35 years of Mario, and they're praising Sony's launch on the PS5, and games like the God of War, and whenever it wins Game of the Year, like, but you very rarely see Nintendo and PlayStation praising Phil Spencer, so you do kind of have to feel a little bit kind of bad for him on that, like he's a nice guy. He's always praising the quote unquote competition, but I suppose he is what he is. He's kind of a bit like, in a way, he's a bit like Satoru Iwata in terms of what I mean by that is he's very unique. Like, he's not just a guy that works for Microsoft. He's not just a guy that's head of Xbox. He's himself, and he's got his own personality. And look, so he knows that from a business point of view, that Microsoft and Xbox is the competition of PlayStation and Nintendo. He knows that, but I suppose he can't just help have the gamer side of him just shine, and just remind himself and everyone else that that he and all of us are gamers.
PlayStation praised Xbox launched 3 days before PS5 launches.
Oh, did they? Okay. Apologies to PlayStation then. They did praise Microsoft. So it's mostly Nintendo that don't actually praise Microsoft, because I very rarely see...
But you're right, Nintendo never praise anyone low.
Yeah, very rarely will Nintendo praise someone. Nintendo praising ye bastards. But I don't know. I think Doug Bowser. Still can't take his name serious, to be honest with you. Doug Bowser. But I mean, imagine working for Nintendo. Let alone, imagine being the president of Nintendo of America, and your surname being actually Bowser. That's just it's just unheard of. Because I think anyway, personally, Bowser is a very unique name, and the only thing I associate the name Bowser to is the character Bowser. So to be working at Nintendo and having a surname Bowser, it's just crazy. It's just mental, absolutely mental. But I think, didn't he praise something to do with Xbox? Didn't he praise the launch of Xbox Series X to give him credit? I think he did. He definitely praised PlayStation 5 anyway. But there was definitely something anyway that he praised. But overall, it's very rare that you actually see Nintendo in general praising the quote unquote competition. But maybe that's just a mindset that needs to be changed. Obviously they're all businesses, but it's funny, because if you look at the music industry and if you look at the movie industry as well, you don't really see competition there. You don't really see I can't think of any movie companies at the top of my head, but you don't really see them competing with each other. You don't see music companies competing with each other. They just see themselves as the music industry and the movie industry.
I think they do it as there enough hatred in the world.
I just think they need to kind of just have a different mindset. I think when Jeff Keighley, brought the head of Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft together, I think it was a very symbolic moment.
And they all in one industry need each other.
Yeah, they're all in the one industry. We're all gamers, Obviously, we all have different preferences, but it doesn't mean that that Sony can't praise Microsoft and Microsoft can't praise Sony and Nintendo can't praise fucking anyone. Yeah. I like moments where where another console praises another. I like those moments, and as I said, I love seeing the head of Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo come together, standing on the same stage. It was a surreal moment.
funny man. Phil is the only guy who survived after that. The other guys were gone the following year.
Yeah,
lol.
he's the last man standing. And he's bought out Bethesda. So he's doing well for himself, like, you know, whatever about the sales of Xbox. He's doing well for himself, like, for his brand. I mean, he's still standing. And he bought out Bethesda. And it's just so fun that he praised so the whole point of, you know, me bringing up Phil Spencer was the fact that he's the only person right now in the video game industry that I'm aware of anyway that's actually celebrating the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. I do think though, a lot of people are saying this as well, that Nintendo could have like a later direct, like, very similar to the Super Mario 35th anniversary direct. You know, they'll have a Zelda direct. A lot of people think that Nintendo are not going to just stop with the Switch version of Skyward Sword. I think there's going to be like maybe like a classic collection of you know, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Which would be well, knowing Nintendo, they'll take the lazy out and just do what they did with 3D All-Stars, just give you Ocarina of Time as it is. And they'll probably just like output it in HD, like, but I can't see them doing what Activision have done and actually give us like a full-blown
man, it's
remake.
the 35th year, so they will mark it.
Well, I hope they do a better job marking it than they did with Mario. I mean, if you actually start to think about it, like, if you really start to think about it, like, was there any really major Mario announcement to mark the 35th anniversary? And even outside of an announcement, like, I mean, like,
Metroid is next year.
Metroid is next year. Your game. If you think of it, like, I mean, look at what they did with 3D All Stars. I mean, marking, like celebrating 3D Mario games. Yeah. I mean, what, giving you Super Mario 64 as it is, like, is just so lazy. And the same with Sunshine. Galaxy, not too pushed by Galaxy, to be fair, because, you know, the Wii is a reasonably recent enough console compared to like the Nintendo 64 and GameCube. But it was just so lazy. Especially if you look at like what Activision did with Spyro and Crash Bandicoot and Tony Hawk's. I mean, those games are nowhere near as big as Mario, and they haven't been around as long as those games. And even at that, they still put so much effort into remastering. I would even call them remakes, to be honest with you. And then Nintendo marked 35 years of Mario by giving you Super Mario 64 in its original form. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ! Like, I even think that Blizzard Arcade Collection did a better job than Super Mario 3D All Stars, because I've only played one game so far, but Rock and Roll Racing has a definitive edition where you get CD quality music.
It was definitely lazy, without a doubt.
Yeah, 100% lazy. Rock and Roll Racing getting that definitive edition, the 4-player edition, the SNES and the Mega Drive edition, and it's got this like museum feature as well that contains concept art of the 3 games included, and video interviews as well. And that was €20. You know, like, Nintendo were really greedy and really lazy with Super Mario 3D All Stars, and they didn't even like announce any. Like, they didn't even give you a tease of the next major 3D Mario game. I mean, I know there was, you know, like Super Mario 35, like the Battle Royale Mario game, and, you know, things in between, but it just didn't really feel that big of a kind of a maybe that's why we haven't seen anything of The Legend of Zelda celebration, because maybe they knew they had nothing big. Maybe they're just kind of like drip feed us with like announcements. Like, maybe they're not going to make a big deal about it like they did with Mario, like, you know, like that kind of way. And especially considering they're not ready to talk about Breath of the Wild 2 just yet. Like, you know, there wouldn't really be any like major announcement. But I do think that if they are going to have some sort of a kind of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask collection, oh god, my phone is just, sorry. don't expect it to be a full blown remake or remaster, because the best you're going to get is a Nintendo 64 game in HD. That's the best you're going to get. And like, people think that, oh, but it's in HD, it's in HD. Like, it doesn't really do anything. It's literally just like hooking your Nintendo 64 up with a HDMI cable. That's all it's going to do. Like, it's not actually going to change anything in the game. Like, it's just going to change it's the only way I can put it is, if you're on your phone right now and you watch a YouTube video and you adjust the video quality, so you go all the way down to, like,
it's the 3DS games ported over in HD.
Oh dear God. Even if that is lazy. Even that is lazy. I mean, let's face it, like, okay, fair enough, they did visually improve Ocarina of Time from, you know, the Nintendo 64 version to the 3DS version, fair enough, but even that, like, you know, it's still lazy. It's still lazy, you know, whatever you want to put it. But I think that, like, output, like, for instance, like Super Mario 64 in 3D All-Stars is outputted in HD. But what that basically means visually and from the is, again, it's like if you're watching a video on YouTube and you scale it from 260p to 1080p, then obviously you will see a visual difference, but there's nothing actually changing within what you're watching. So if you're watching a movie about fish underwater, that fish is not going to, like, grow more scales just because you're watching it in HD, you know? Like, that fish is not going to become any more detailed because of the resolution. The resolution just makes the image sharper and brighter. It's not going to change anything in terms of content. So, like, Nintendo can put Ocarina of Time in HD all it likes. It's not going to visually improve the game. And that goes with Skyward Sword HD as well. It's just that the game has been outputted. Well, maybe Skyward Sword will be a little different, in the sense that maybe they will kind of, like, change
textures.
Wii U
HD remastered, ported over, I bet.
Wii U HD remastered. Of what now? Of Ocarina of Time. Yeah, that's what it'll probably be. Like, it'll just be the same N64 game, but it'll be in HD and just ported over, a bit like what they did with a lot of. So that would be the same as Super Mario 64 then, because I think that was in HD as well on the Wii U. So it's just kind of lazy. I mean, like, Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda is so iconic. Like,
you're the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Oh yeah. That'll probably happen too, I'd say. Oh, that's what you meant by the Wii U port. Sorry. Yeah. I wish there was a game that I hadn't played. You know, in The Legend of Zelda. Like, why don't they even do a thing where they remake the Legend of Zelda 2? What was that called again? Link's Quest. I wondered if Cody Rhodes got round to completing that game yet. Remember, he was invited by Nintendo to go to E3 and to talk about I think that's when they were celebrating 20. No, they were celebrating something anyway. There was some kind of anniversary of Zelda back then. Well, it must have been 30 years. They were celebrating 35 years. Yeah, it must have been. That must have been the 30th anniversary of sorry, my ear is itchy. Of Zelda, and he was talking about, like, it's the one game that he hasn't completed because he's a huge Zelda fan. So he even had he has not a tattoo, but he's boots. When he was in WWE, he actually had a Triforce on his boots. I wonder if he'd get around to completing that. But yeah, Nintendo, they're a strange bunch, really. I think it's because it's just typical Nintendo, isn't it? Like and I don't mean this in a good or bad way. I just mean it as it is. I just think they march to the beat of their own drum, so we all expect them to celebrate The Legend of Zelda in such grand scale because it came out 35 years ago. But that's what we expect. So that's what any other company would do. But Nintendo are like, so 35 years, yeah, we know it's 35 years. What about it? That kind of way. So it's kind of, they're an interesting bunch. They don't do things because it's expected of them. They will do it if they want to do it, that kind of way. Being burnt to a crisp. I'll be honest with you, this is going to be the end of the gameplay segment, and I pretty much have like 10 minutes left in the live stream before I get some sleep. So yeah, that is what Demon's Souls is all about, chipping and chiseling away slowly.
Nintendo know whatever game they put out it will sell though.
You know what? That's probably what it is. Nintendo are like, we don't need to celebrate 35 years to get people to buy our games. They'll just buy our games anyway, kind of a thing. And it's true, like, you know what I mean? The Legend of Zelda, has there ever been a game in the series that hasn't been successful? Same with Mario, like, has there, in recent times, like, has there ever been a major Mario or Zelda game that has flopped? Do you know what I mean? Like, and for anyone who says that Nintendo milked their franchises, Grand Theft Auto 5, full stop, is what I would say to those people. And not just GTA 5, plenty of other games. And they do milk their franchises, Nintendo. They do. I mean, I'm not denying that. I mean, Super Mario 3D World, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But don't just be so narrow-minded. Do you know what I mean? Like, we live in a video game culture now where there's so many ports and so many re-releases. So it's not just like Nintendo re-releasing their games. But the great thing about, like, I'm going after
on your smart fridge.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, it'll be on calculators next, man. So GTA 5 coming to a calculator near you. I'm gonna go after GTA 5
the goat.
GTA 5 is the most successful video game in the world, so I cannot deny that, Damien, and I will not deny that. It is the greatest, sold insanely. Like, there isn't a word that you can use to describe how successful Grand Theft Auto 5 is. And Damon is fact. And now you can say, oh, it's a fact. Everything's a fact. Everything I say is a fact. I am a fact. Johnny Fact
Most
Gaming.
profitable game.
It is extremely profitable. Like, there's no denying that. But I suppose my perspective on Grand Theft Auto 5 is from the point...
Tetris is still the best-selling fish, I think.
Is the point of... I didn't know that.
Johnny talks shit.
Johnny talks shit. My perspective, I don't work for Rockstar. I don't work for Take-Two. I don't make a cent of... I don't get a cent back from what GTA 5 makes financially. So that's my perspective. My perspective is from the point of view of a gamer. And it would always be like that. So I'm going to have a go at GTA 5 here now again. So, yeah. Like, Nintendo, they do milk their franchises.
That's okay. People enjoy playing it. Don't hate Elbow Cup. This stream is sponsored by Rockstar Games.
Rockstar Games. They're making enough money as it is now, Mighty Duck. They don't need to be sponsored. Yeah, I mean, like, people enjoy... I enjoyed playing it, which is why I bought it twice. And completed it twice. I mean, I enjoyed the GTA series because it was one of the first games I played on PlayStation. In fact, it was the motivation for buying the PlayStation and the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3. So like, yeah, I enjoy playing Grand Theft Auto. The reason I stopped playing GTA...
I can't wait for the PS5 version.
You're hyped? Well, like... All I can say, man, is if you're hyped for GTA 5 on PS5, that is good.
I hope it really is expanded.
Well, it would want to be. You know, I hope for your sake that it is expanded, and I hope that Take-Two put their mouth where their money is. Or put their money where their mouth is. It's getting too late, my vocabulary has gone to shit.
The original and Vice City and No 4 was my favorite.
Oh, Vice City has to be one of the best GTA games ever made, to be honest with you, because of the strip club, hands down.
4 was actually sick TBF.
4 was good too. So, yeah, Damien, I mean, considering that you are hyped for the PS5 version of GTA 5, I mean, I hope for your sake, genuinely...
I'd love a 4 and Vice City remake.
Vice City remake all the way. I do hope that they expand it, and I do hope that Take-Two...
Chinatown Wars is untouchable.
Chinatown Wars, man, oh god. I will never forget where I was when that game got announced. It was probably one of the most random moments in gaming. Like, all joking aside here now, right? I'm sitting down watching Nintendo's E3 press conference, and this woman, like this soccer mom.
So has it getting PS5 upgrades since it's backward compatible?
Let's hope so. Mighty Doug, you might know her name. Cammy Dunaway was her name.
Remake GTA 1 and 2 Face with Tears of Joy.
That would be great.
I remember it well.
I'd be all over the remake of GTA 1 and 2. She steps on the stage and she literally stepped off a balance board talking about some snowboard
Carrie Dunaway.
That's Carrie Dunaway. She literally stepped off a wee balance board talking about some casual snowboarding game to just casually, and I swear to God, casually announce Grand Theft Auto on Nintendo DS. And not like a port of GTA 1, but an actual like built ground up Grand Theft Auto game for the Nintendo DS. I'm just sitting there looking at the screen and just asking myself, what did I just witness? And then I got hyped, of course, for a new GTA. It took full advantage of the touchscreen as well. Like, I think one of the opening moments of the game is where you're actually in a car in the middle of the river, and you have to break out of the car, and you have to open the windscreen, so you're like tapping the touch screen, and it uses everything on the DS. It's just crazy, like. So yeah, it's just Chinatown Wars.
Breaking the WI touch screen.
Oh, stop smashing it. I've actually been saying this for a while now, but I don't want it to happen, but I'd still like it to happen. Does that make sense? Obviously, all I want right now from Grand Theft Auto is GTA 6. But if that's not the case, you know the way like a lot of people would like to see like Grand Theft Auto on a Nintendo console. It's been wanted for a long time right now. I think they should take a page out of Capcom's book with the Resident Evil series and actually have like
remake Retro City Rampage.
Remake Retro City Rampage. But isn't Retro City Rampage is like, that's the indie Grand Theft Auto clone, isn't it? And maybe make a sequel to Chinatown Wars and make it exclusive to Switch and have this like kind of side.
DX was a remake, no?
I think it was. Well, it wasn't a remake, but It was a re-release anyway, some kind of a re-release with kind of added features to it. But yeah, I think that would make sense. Um, a like not a, yeah, spin-off almost, a spin-off GTA series, Chinatown
Midnight
Wars,
Club reboot.
Midnight Club. That was a great game as well. So yeah, I think that would be great if that was announced. We say like in another Nintendo Direct, we say like around E3 time, like Chinatown Wars 2 Switch exclusive, and then like put GTA 6 on PS5 and Xbox Series X, and everyone is happy. Two brand new GTA games on two different consoles taking full advantage. Because there's no point in squeezing down GTA 6 onto Switch or even GTA 5 for that matter. There's no point in doing that. It just wouldn't be a good game. It would be like laggy. It would be like 30 frames per second if they're fucking lucky. You know, the online would be complete shite. Just wouldn't be a
Damien, I
good.
have been reading Dying Light 2 might be in bother.
Oh yeah, it's in development hell, unfortunately, man. I was meant to tell you that actually, but I didn't want to tell you in case you didn't know. I didn't want to like upset you. But that game is in development hell,
Yeah man, it's
unfortunately.
in big trouble.
It's in big trouble, man. Hopefully it'll get resolved and it'll get fixed. Now let's get back to GTA 5. So for your sake, Damien, I do hope
Dead
that
Island 2 hell.
Dead Island 2, hell, that's the one. Sorry. So I do hope for your sake that Take-Two expand the PS5 version of GTA 5.
Another game got canned too, Vampire 2.
That's the one, yeah. And I hope that they put their money where their mouth is. They're saying that they care about single player.
They
Well,
both are
maybe,
BTW Johnny.
maybe Damien, they both are. Jesus Christ, that's bad. Hopefully it gets resolved. But hopefully now, Damien, they will announce some big single player content for GTA 5 on PS5. That would have me buying GTA 5 on PS5. And I'm telling you the truth here. If GTA 5 on PS5 has single player DLC content, I will buy it. So I hope that happens. I really, really do. But like Nintendo, they do milk their franchises. They do from time to time. They do milk. I mean, look at what they did with Super Mario
Hopefully, man.
3D. Hopefully, I mean that would be nice. Like obviously, I would prefer GTA 6. But if they are going to re-release GTA 5 on PS5 and charge people money for this game, and they're saying that they care about single player, I would really like if they put in some single player content. So hopefully, indeed. So obviously, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is on Switch, Super Mario 3D World is on Switch, New Super Mario Brothers U is on Switch. Super Mario 3D All Stars is just literally the same N64 version of Super Mario 64 and the GameCube version of Super Mario Sunshine and the Wii. They do milk their franchise, but at least
Single player needs be a focus this time around.
it definitely does. It definitely does with GTA 6 as well, and they definitely need to like show that they care about single player
Bring back
with the
Max Payne,
PS5
El
version.
Boca.
Max Payne, oh what a game, what a game. But there's one thing about Nintendo that's different to Rockstar and Take-Two and the Grand Theft Auto series right now, GTA 5, is
Great game, Damien.
at least when Nintendo were milking their franchises, at least we got Breath of the Wild, a brand new Legend of Zelda experience. For the first time in the series, full-on open-world gameplay became Game of the Year. And Super Mario Odyssey, one of the most ambitious 3D Mario games ever released, and it became one of the fastest selling and highest selling Mario games in the series. So at least Nintendo are continuing with their franchises. And let's put things into perspective, shall we? The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey 2 all came out within the 8-year life cycle of GTA 5. So while Take-Two were milking GTA 5, Nintendo were releasing new Mario and Zelda experiences. So that's what I wanted to kind of get out there. I don't want to bash GTA 5 again. Come on, give us GTA 6. For fuck's sake. Look, it'll happen eventually. I think I'm at a stage now, it's been 8 years now already. So it kind of doesn't matter anymore, if that makes sense, because it's already been 8 years. They've already taken so long. So I don't think I care anymore. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way or a
Praying
good
for the
way.
Getaway reboot tomorrow, folded hands.
Wouldn't that be great? Don't have too high expectations now. I used to say the same to Mighty Duck when we used to
Do you
watch
guys remember the Gay Ballad
Direct.
DLC?
I heard about it. I never actually played any of the GTA 4 DLC, but that's something that we need to see on the PS5 and Xbox Series X version of GTA 5 is some kind of DLC like that focuses on a new character,
Yeah, Duck and Lost and Damned.
Lost and Damned. Like they need to do something like that with GTA 5. I mean, like, if they just like this is what I don't want to hear. This is what I don't want to hear and what I don't want to see with the PS5 upgrade. I don't want to hear about now you can experience Los Santos in glorious 4K. Because if I'm not mistaken, you can already do that on PS4 Pro. If I'm wrong, I'll be happily corrected. I don't want to hear about now you can load into the game much quicker, which again, I'm pretty sure you can do on backwards compatibility anyway on PS5. And I don't want to hear about 3D audio. And as much as I love the DualSense controller, I don't want to hear about those features coming to the PS5 upgrade. Because this
Does
game has
Sony
been...
ever do DLC like God of War DLC etc., or Spider-Man or Days Gone etc.? This is what I don't wanna hear. The jetpack on Gilead Mountains, face with tears of joy.
Oh, they need to kill that theory completely. The jetpack theory just has to die. Seriously. Does Sony do DLC with
Horizon
God of
Zero
War?
Dawn, I think.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, I think that got DLC. Generally speaking, like the games you mentioned there,
But
it
it's
is
rare
rare.
enough nowadays.
Yeah, it's rare enough. Well, I suppose the way you have to look at like, I suppose well, to answer your question, like, not necessarily. They don't have DLC for God of War and Spider-Man, but I suppose the way to look at that is the story is complete. Like, what you see in God of War is complete.
Ghost of Tsushima got an online mode.
Yeah, that got an online mode. So the way to look at it is God of War it is what it is. God of War is a complete story. It's a
Ghost of
complete
Tsushima
experience.
is about 30 hours long, may take longer.
And that's very long. Like, that is very long. Same with Spider-Man. That's a story that's complete. So it doesn't need... Oh, no. Wait. Spider-Man did get DLC. The first Spider-Man on PS4 got
Ghost of
DLC.
Tsushima is one of the best games I ever played.
Oh, he loves Ghost of Tsushima. I gotta get stuck into that game. I know I've been saying that for a long time now, but I do gotta get stuck into that. I think I'd really like it, to be honest with you. But actually, yeah, the first Spider-Man game did actually get DLC, just to confirm that. So hopefully now we'll see some kind of DLC with GTA 5 on PS5.
I
I will
have it
jump
still in
into it.
plastic, lol.
But I have a lot of games in plastic. But yeah, as of right now, like, we don't really know anything about the PS5 upgrade of GTA 5. I mean, like, you can play GTA 5 on PS5 right now, and you can have next to no loading times, and it will be in 4K. So I don't really know what they're actually
It's
offering.
Splatoon arrest and play Ghost.
Yeah.
What time is this thing tomorrow night?
It is 10 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I agree with Damien.
10.
Gives Splatoon a
Tonight,
rest.
sorry.
Well, technically tonight. You're right. Technically, it is tonight. I would say
Cheers,
I always
Damien.
I always say this to I used to always say this to Mighty Duck when we were watching Nintendo Directs is just try not to have any expectations at all. Like, I know it would be lovely to see the Getaway, Silent Hill, Days Gone too. That would all be great to see, but just because we don't see those games doesn't make the state of play any less entertaining.
They'll
I'm
keep the
sure.
big dogs for summer.
Oh, they will. But I'm sure there'll be at least 2 games shown and announced, in the state of play that will grab your attention. Like, I know that you're not big into indie games, and that's fine. Not everyone is into indie games, but Sony are aware of that. Like, Sony with the PS5 have made sure that all
Seven Franks
gamers.
remake part 2 Elbow Cup.
Yeah, I'd be honest with you, I've lost interest in that remake. I really have. Like, it is what it is. I've just lost interest. I'm more interested in actually completing the original uh, Final Fantasy VII, and I'm actually making great progress actually in the original. I've never gotten far. I've never gotten as far into the original than I actually have now. So as great as a game that it is, I mean, it's great for PlayStation. You know, it is what it is. But I've just lost interest in that remake. I really, really have. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel
Original
like
is the best.
I have to agree. I just have to agree in every way. It is the best, and not everyone is going to agree with that, and that's perfectly fine. But like I just think the original is just always going to be the best, and I'm happy that I can play the original. You know, I have the original on PlayStation in disc form. I have it on Switch. I have it on PS4, and I'm just happy that I have the original. The remake just doesn't feel like a remake to me. It just feels like one of those like Crisis Core games. And do you know one of the games they released on the PS2 and like the CGI movie Advent Children? It just feels like
What's
another
your favorite
version.
RE, Johnny?
My favorite Resident Evil is probably going to be Village, to be honest with you, because like what Chris Redfield is up to, I just know is going to be amazing. But obviously, I haven't played that game yet, so I can't answer that. Or that I can't. As far as my favorite Resident Evil game is, it's changed many times. It probably would always have to be the original. The original Resident
Play
Evil.
6 Elbow Cup.
um,
Village
I'm
looks
in
insane.
no rush to play Resident Evil 6, Damien. I can tell you that much right now. Um, I'm in no rush to play that. Five is fine. Five is fine. You know, that's as far as I will rate that game. You know, it's fine. Um, but I'm definitely in no rush to play six. But the original
I
Resident
have all
Evil,
the games on my Xbox now of Raze they had. A Raze sale few weeks back. You should play some RE leading up to Village release.
I could, but I won't. I really feel like there's going to be no story elements from Resident Evil 5 and 6 that will be carried over to Village. In fact, I think that Capcom have kind of made it very, very clear, not officially, but they've made it very clear that Resident Evil 7 kind of acted as a reboot. Not a reboot as in a full on reboot, but the story of Mia and Ethan Winters seems to be like the focus on Resident Evil right now. And I think that the events in Resident
Did you
Evil.
play the DLC for 7?
Oh, I did. I played all the DLC for 7. I played Not a Hero. So it's not really like like there's nothing from 5 and 6 that's actually referenced in 7, and they won't be referenced in 8 either. So from a story perspective, I don't really need or care about recapping the events of 5 and 6, to be honest with you. But I did have an idea going back a bit when Village got announced of retelling the story of Chris Redfield and kind of like reminding myself and my lovely viewers what Chris Redfield has actually went through over his crazy,
Is there a
crazy
big
life.
special edition for Village?
There is.
Excited for FNAF.
For what? Is that Five Nights at Freddy, or am I just? Was that stand for something else, or was it Five Nights at Freddy? Um, yeah, there's actually a massive
Yes.
collect. Why is there? Oh yeah, I forgot about that game. I thought you were having a go at me there for a second. I thought you were like, Johnny plays Five Nights at Freddy's. That's better than Resident Evil. But I know I actually am for the one that's coming to PS5 because it's a completely different type of Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like I'd never actually played any of the games in the series, but I like that this is like a full on like game, if you know what I mean. Like I think the original Five Nights at Freddy's, you're just looking at screens the whole time, and it just doesn't feel like a full on gaming experience. Whereas the new one, yeah, it does feel like I could pick that game up and actually play it. To be honest with you.
Remember Slender the Arrival?
Oh, I do. I do. I remember that.
The
I
biggest
remember
load of shit.
that. It was all right. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst, to be honest with you. It was all right. I remember bashing Five Nights at Freddy's. In fact, the two of us were kind of like bashing it, and we were in GameStop one time, and I think there was a not the guy working in there, but there was a guy came into the shop, and we got talking in it about horror games, and I remember he turned around to us and he was like, "Oh, the scariest game of all time, the
What
best
games don't
horror."
you bash nowadays?
Okay, good question. I seem to be bashing a lot of games lately. That's a very good question, actually, Damien. But I remember he was like, Five Nights at
You
Freddy's is.
bash it so bad you stick your langer in the disc hole.
I don't know how to respond to that one. But yeah, I remember he was
He
going
is
on.
bashing himself more lol.
He was going on about Five Nights at Freddy anyway, and he was like, "It's one of the scariest horror games of all time," and we were like, "Yeah, right, Five Nights at Freddy's." And then then one night, I was still bashing it, and remember Kirby with a knife slash Bunga Bunga. It was like, look at that there. And then it was like, oh, it's Five Nights at Freddy's. I was like, okay, sure, I'll watch this. And I'm there and I'm like, yeah. And then out of nowhere, like, just this face just pops up on the screen. Like, you know what I mean? It's like bear face or whatever the hell it was. And it was just, it was the loudness of the scream, the suddenness of the scream. And I literally, like, got one hell of a jump scare, and yeah, I don't think I'm ever in a position to bash
How
Five
old is
Nights
your brother now, Damien?
at Freddy's. To be honest with you, I don't think I could ever.
Remember the game I got as well? I think it's called Daylight. 14. Johnny
Daylight.
Boy Elbow Cup.
Oh, I remember Daylight. I do remember Daylight, right? Mr. Chad Middleton, you're late. You are very, very late, Chad. How dare you arrive on Green Hill Gaming at this hour of the morning? How dare you? No, I'm only joking. Chad, how are you keeping? And you are very welcome to pretty much the end of my live stream. I'm at that stage where I just chit chat now, so probably about
I
10
got
more
no
minutes left.
notification.
I'm only joking, Chad. Honestly, I'm only joking. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. Drop by my live streams
Fucking
at
hell,
any
the
time.
years are flying. I remember Johnny on about you guys during CCW days.
Yeah, where do the years go? The years just fly by. But as they say, time flies when you're having fun. So, Chad, any news with you? But
I'm feeling the age, Elbow Cup.
you're feeling the age. Here, man, if anyone in this chat is feeling the age, it's Mighty Duck, because he's the oldest fucker here. I'm only joking. See what twisted
Having
out there.
fun. We've been stuck in fucking lockdown faced with tears of joy.
I meant in general, over the years from like CCW to like, you know, where we are now. That's a good
You know
comment.
what though, we'll say we can't wait for games to come out, we wishing our life away.
Oh,
Have you
stop.
seen that animatronic movie with Nicolas Cage?
I haven't, but I was talking about it to someone. It's like I actually thought it was a full blown movie of Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's actually not. It's probably going to be one of the biggest rip-offs of Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, it's crazy. Like, I actually thought it was. It's a strange look. I haven't seen it, no, but I have seen trailers of it. It's a crazy one. I'm just really excited to see the Mortal Kombat reboot. See if my theories come true.
You like Nicolas Cage?
He's all
I'm
right.
feeling younger than you all. I'm playing so much Splatoon. I'm like a kid again, lol.
Best way to be. Mighty Duck, that's literally my life 24/7, man. It's the best way to be.
The guy actually bores me. See. Nicolas Cage beats one with a stick. His voice irritates me.
I had to think about movies he's actually in, to be honest with you.
Kid
He's
at heart.
alright. He's alright. That's exactly it, Damien. That's the best way to be, man. Seriously, like. And if anybody's got a problem with that, like, then they're the ones who are going to be like miserable like for the rest of their lives, and they're going to be looking back on their life and they're going to be thinking, God, if only I was a kid at heart, you know. It's the best way
Con
to
Air
be.
was the peak of his career.
I've heard of Con Air, but I've never actually seen it, to be honest with you. Con Air. I've heard of Con Air, but I haven't heard of Con Air. I know, terrible job.
He was almost Superman.
Imagine, that's one thing. No, I wouldn't. Like, I know Nicolas Cage enough to know that he wouldn't make a good Superman. Put it that way. Be more like
Jesus,
fucking
what a shambles that would have been.
Super Bore. That would have been. Jesus, man. Would have been complete Super Bore. Dear God, Nicolas Cage is Superman. Oh no, is he? No, he's not. What did I think of the movie he's in? Yeah, he's in
Johnny
He's
Cage next.
Johnny, oh not Hope. Nicolas Cage is. I just called it there, Johnny Cage and Nicolas Cage. Oh God.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, he's in Ghost. Isn't he in
Ghost RXC.
God, what's it called? He's in the Da Vinci Code as well, isn't he? He's in a good few movies, really, but I don't really know him.
Ghost Rider was
much.
alright.
I think I did see that movie actually a long, long time ago. A long, long time ago.
Tom Hanks.
Oh, is that Tom Hanks? Is that Tom Hanks? It is too,
You're
isn't
on
it?
about. National Treasure.
Do you know what? I think I'm getting National Treasure mixed up with the Da Vinci Code. I feel like I'm like spastic right now, to be honest with you. I just feel so stupid. Yeah, that's right. Tom Hanks played
Kick-Ass
Da
is a
Vinci
parody
Code.
Batman.
I've seen that as well. That's actually quite funny.
Ever see The Green Mile? What a
Oh,
film.
it's, you know what? It's a classic, but I don't think I've actually ever seen it from start to finish. I know. I'm one of those people. But movies
Green Mile was class.
like when I say start to finish, like it probably would have been on television a good few times
Oh
over
man,
the
you're
years.
missing out.
Yeah, I got to watch it from start to finish. It's just one of those things like where you probably like tune into it like halfway through it, and then you're kind of like, you know, you're not paying attention to it kind of a thing.
Wild
and
Bill
you're
was the
kind of-
goat face with tears of joy.
Lads, you ever
I
Well,
had
listen
a
out.
hamster named after the mouse they had in prison.
Wild Bill? Wild Bill was hilarious, to be honest.
I
You gotta
didn't know
oh,
Green Mile was a Stephen King movie.
the hamster named after the mouse. I didn't know Green Mile was. Go away, a Stephen King movie. You wouldn't expect that, no. You wouldn't expect that now from Stephen King. He's more into horror now and stuff like that. But lads, you know what? I've an interesting movie story to tell before I end the live stream, because I'm going to have to get some sleep after this. It was Easter time, and it would have been I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. It was I was playing Super Mario 3D Land on the Nintendo 3DS, and I was at the bonus world, like the world you unlock after you've pretty much like perfected all of the levels.
I thought it was Oliver Stone's movie.
I wouldn't know that at all. I wouldn't know that at all, no. But I was, yeah, so there I am playing Super Mario 3D Land on 3DS, and then on the bonus world. And I was watching, oh my God, one hell of a movie. I was watching Shutter Island. And it is just one of those movies that I could literally watch that movie a ton of times. I could watch it tomorrow, I could watch it the month after that, and the month after that. It is just such a captivating movie, and it's got one hell of a twist. Probably one of the best twists I have
Great
seen.
movie.
Oh, it's so good. It's so. If any of you haven't seen this movie, watch it. Watch it. Get some sleep and then watch it. It is one of the best movies I've seen ever, and it's got an amazing, amazing twist. But yeah, I was half watching it, but I was still
Ha ha ha,
watching
I
it.
walked out of the cinema for that film. I was so bored of it. Ha ha.
Well, fuck you very much. Get the hell out of my live stream, Mighty Duck. That's it. Finished. Done. No more. You're not even welcome on my live streams. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to talk to you. You're just go. No, I'm only joking. I thought it was great. It's kind of, if you're expecting action
What
from
is the
this
name of
movie,
it?
uh,
Insults lol.
Shutter Island. Shutter Island. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio. It's really good. Like, never mind Mighty Duck. It's not boring. It's you just have to. But do you know what you call boring? I call. Oh, what's the word for it? I call immersive. It does look. There's a word that I want to use, but I can't think of what it is. It's like there's moments in the game, in the beginning, not the game. There's
Mark
moments.
Ruffalo too.
There's what? Oh yeah, there's moments in the movie where you like it's raining outside and you can hear the rain and the characters just very still. I don't know how to put it, but it's just like what you call boring, I call something else.
Might try it again, but that was years ago.
Yeah, you should definitely watch it again. But I'm telling you, what you call boring, I would have a different word to use to describe it. It's a really deep story, and it's not an action movie. Do you know
I
what I
liked
mean?
his movie Blood Diamond.
That's a good movie as well. But that movie had a lot of
Had the
action.
M Night ending twist to it. Was the
It had-
time of the ash cloud.
The Ash Cloud. I remember that actually. I remember being in the chipper, ordering my battered burger supper, and it was on the news. And you text, I swear to God, I remember the exact fucking time. I was in the chipper, Tasty Snacks, and I was ordering my battered burger supper, and I was looking up at the TV, and they were talking about this big ash cloud, and I was fucking thinking the world was ended. And you fucker, Mighty Duck, you text me, and you said the Undertaker was dead.
I was meant go on holidays, but had wait at airport, was not able to fly.
Well,
I can't wait for the new Candyman film.
Oh, Candyman is going to be unreal, considering they actually have the original actor. But you, Mighty Duck, you were joking with me, and you said the Undertaker was dead. That was so bad of you. I almost cancelled my order and run home and cry. Do you not remember that? I remember that. I remember now, because when you mentioned the ash cloud, I remembered being in the chipper, and then I remembered the text that you sent me.
Ha ha ha, he was a dead man lop.
Oh my God, I remember it like so fucking vividly. God, I'd love a bad burger supper right now. Even though I know it's like 12 minutes past 2 in the morning, but still, I'd love it. I wouldn't actually eat it in all this time, I wouldn't care. Lads, I'd have a batter burger for breakfast, man, seriously. That is my batter burger is now in Pringles. Like, if I swear to God,
Listening to him on Joe Rogan.
if I could invent,
Other
oh,
night.
I remember that. Well, I didn't see it, but like I feel old listening to the Undertaker, retired, talking about how he wants to do DDP yoga because his back hurts.
Now Johnny doesn't care if he kicked the bucket or not. At least he won't be ruining his legacy, Johnny.
Do you know what? Going back in time, if I could go back in time to that moment, well, that's an awful thing to say. I'm not going to say that. I was going to say he'd be better off fucking dead, but that's an awful thing to say. But yeah, his career definitely went downhill. And yeah, but yeah, I didn't watch the Joe Rogan interview, but I know that he was going on about like how he
Ha ha ha, Johnny bet his bishop to his poster lol. He
maybe
still got it, elbow cup.
I actually do. I still have that poster actually. Honestly, I still have that poster. But Jesus Christ, Undertaker talking about DDP yoga and everything. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! It's just it's bizarre. Like, and then Kane is like mayor of Knoxville. Well, lads, the big show is in AEW. Mighty Duck, I would like you live right now on Green Hill Gaming to acknowledge that I was 100% right about what AEW were turned into. Can I remind you that currently Taz
It's still real to me, damn it.
is
Johnny.
Taz is in AEW, Sting is in AEW, and now the Big Show is in AEW. So Mighty Dog,
What's the small show doing in the AEW zone?
the small show. That's a good one. I remember that. I would like you, Mighty Dog, to admit that I, Johnny, was 100% right about AEW becoming the next TNA. That's the words I used. I said AEW is nothing more than the next TNA, and that's exactly what it is.
treatment too.
It's exactly what it is. I mean, all of these old guys
Haha, it's a
showing up.
merry-go-round wrestling industry.
That's not good enough, Mighty Dog. What I want to hear is you were right, Johnny. That's what I want to hear. Type it. You were right, Johnny. AEW is nothing more than another TNA. No, I'm only joking. But all joking aside, though, it's oh god, it's just crazy. Like I remember watching, I was just laughing. Like when I heard the Sting was in, when I heard the Sting was in AEW, I was laughing. So I wanted to watch the video. I wasn't expecting Taz to be in the ring. When I saw Taz in the ring, I lost it. I just could not stop laughing. And now the Big Show is in TNA. It's just, look, it's one thing when you have Dean Ambrose, right, going to AEW, because he is just basically like, he's still a young man. Like his career is still just getting started, more or less. I know like he was big in WWE as the Shield.
Jules.
Y2 Jules.
The GOAT.
Wait, what? Did I literally just say Y2? Did you mean to put in... My computer voice just called Y2J, Y2 Jules. Computer voice, I love you. Y2 Jules?
I didn't say Jules.
Well, the computer voice...
Jules.
The computer voice did. That's so funny. Y2 Jules, that's his new name. Oh, we gotta get a chant going now. If I ever see Chris Jericho live. Y2 Jules. Y2 Jules. Oh, lads. That's fucking funny shit right there. No, but yeah, next TNA. That's all AEW is. AEW is no threat to Vince McMahon and the World Wrestling Entertainment.
Y2 Jews.
Y2 Jews. Jesus Christ, Chad,
Maybe
you're gonna get...
dyslexic, but who am I to judge?
Oh my god. Here, Chad, you're gonna get my channel taken down, man. Y2 Jews. Fucking hell.
Racist Chad.
Oh my god. Well, he's simply just quoting a Jew, not necessarily racist. But yeah, oh god, like I mean, yeah. So Dean Ambrose makes sense. Cody Rhodes makes sense, but when you have the likes of Sting and Taz and now Big Show, you know, being in I was literally going to say TNA because that's how similar.
Pot of gold. Irish drunks now Jews. Elbow cup.
Yeah, Chad. Nah, leave Chad alone. He's grand. He's grand. He's not racist. I'm racist. I'm gonna joke. I'm not. But in this day and age, in this day and age, we're all racist because we literally can't open our mouth.
Bring back Hulk Hogan. Elbow cup.
No, that's a racist. Bring back Hulk Hogan.
Bring back Andre the Giant. Elbow cup.
Wait, I'll bring him back. Wait, no. We want Hulk Hogan back. Wait, no. We'll bring him back. No. He's back from the dead. Somewhere out there under the Giant has just appeared in somebody's house. In somebody's bed. Oh god. Jeez, I wish it wasn't this late because if it was like early enough, like if this was daytime, I would just continue chatting away. But it's so late, so I need last.
Duck hasn't typed in a while.
Where is Duck? I think I've. Did he put in racist?
I did.
Did you think that I saw AEW. I'm still waiting for that acknowledgement as well. No, look, AEW as a business, obviously it's not going to go anywhere. Like, I mean, obviously it's still in business and it's still going to make money, still going to sell.
Oh shit, hate having to switch to live chat. Is my comment not showing?
Oh wait, it mightn't be. I think if you just go to live chat, I don't know if it's possible for ye to go to live chat, but I can go to live chat and I'll see
It
all the
is.
comments showing up. But yeah, so the thing with AEW is it's whether it becomes the next TNA, like it'll still be around, but I don't watch wrestling anymore anyway to begin with. So I have very little, if any, interest in wrestling. So I could care less what AEW do, but it's just nice to know that it is
Had to
right.
switch to live chat.
Yeah, that happens from time to time. There's certain comments that will only show in live chat, which is actually annoying. But yeah, it's nice to know that I'm right about AEW. I wouldn't be at all surprised if the Undertaker showed up. Cause
CCW GOAT was Joe Nathan.
oh, 100%. I mean, like you can have your world wrestling entertainment, you can have your all
The
elite
GOAT reference.
wrestling, but there's only one goat in the wrestling
Wrestling
industry.
is dying slowly now, there is no main stars anymore.
There's only one goat in the wrestling industry, and that is Celtic Championship Wrestling. And the greatest wrestler to ever step into a Celtic Championship Wrestling ring was none other than the Enforcer. Me. When I won that championship. Joke. Don't ever call me Jonathan. Jonathan versus Delicious Damien Sewell. What about that? Oh God. Wrestling is dying
Johnny
slowly.
couldn't do a suplex without suplexing himself.
I remember that. Well, there's not very many people that can suplex themselves, so at least I have that title. Person who can suplex himself. The Enforcer. But wrestling is... I don't think wrestling is dying. I just think that our interest in wrestling is dying. I think wrestling has evolved, and what
That's
it
his
has...
party trick.
Ha,
Man, remember the bumps that went on forever.
I do, man. I do. Oh my God, man. We have to get the kettle on that night. Oh my God, man. I mean, I thought we'd never. I thought we'd never see the end of it. It was like a
Johnny
gift.
was out injured due to a twisted ball sack.
Oh God. I remember scared actually thinking that I actually like broke my neck or something at one stage. Man, there was a few scary moments actually in training. Jesus Christ, it really was. But that's his party trick. What was I going to say? Now again, I forget.
Haha, is that guy who walked out of training? You guys still live in Cork. I
But
remember that.
that
Johnny punched his other hand.
that actually did happen. Actually, I actually did do that. There's a
Didn't I
certain.
like drop you on your head? Haha.
I don't think so. Possibly. Maybe I forgot it because I fucking.
Oh no, it was Blake I dropped.
Yeah, I do remember that. Right. What was the? Is that guy who walked out of training? That guy that walked out of training? Oh, it's been so long now. There was a few people that walked out of training. Believe me, there was the bad patch.
That's his
Bad
name, Blake
bad
Norton.
patch. Bad patch. Oh, name dropping and everything. Name dropping. I'd like to say that if Blake is watching this live stream right now, I'm not the one who's calling anyone out. But it's funny how it said bad patch, and then Blake Norton's name popped up. He's the bad patch. No, honestly
Kurt Blake.
there was a there was a bad patch, going on, and it's kind of around the time that I kind of left, really. To be honest with you, do I regret leaving CCW? This is like a shoot interview now. Well, I wouldn't call it a shoot interview because I'm not going to shoot at anyone in particular. But they're all bastards. No, I'm only joking. Yeah, I actually do regret leaving because I felt like I walked away from a stable routine in my life, and I walked away from a new chapter of my life. The whole reason I got involved in CCW was because I wanted to put a stage in my life at that time. I wanted to close a certain
The
chapter.
demise happened after Johnny quit. I called it.
It's crazy
Exactly what would happen.
Damien called so much it was actually kind of spooky. But Mighty Duck, not to be cocky, but I kind of have to agree with you to a certain extent, and I'll actually get
Happen
to that.
asterisk.
I'll get to that in a moment. You're spot on, Damien. You actually called so much. But Mighty Duck, I'm actually going to address what you said in a moment because you're actually kind of right. But I do definitely regret leaving CCW because when I first got involved in CCW, my motivation for getting involved in CCW
You left
was
because of politics.
no. Just hear me out. Hear me out now. Okay, this is my shoot interview. God damn it, you hear me. No, I'm only joking. Okay, so when I got involved in CCW, okay, I wanted to put a certain chapter in my life to rest, and I wanted to move on to a new chapter of my life, and CCW was that new chapter. I met new people, I was doing new things, I was out a lot more, I was happier, I was doing stuff, and it was just a great moment in my life. And to be honest with you, Mighty Duck, I do think that a certain, wrestling backstage politics did kind of come into it. I think there was a lot of negativity, not from, there was just a certain, I just got myself tangled up in other people's negativity. And I allowed that to get the better of me, and as a result of other people's negativity, I left CCW, and I regret that a lot. But what's interesting, to address what you said, Mighty Duck, is when I left, it went from two wrestlers, a tag team, leaving, and not just leaving, but just really tearing chunks into CCW. Then they left. The fucking trainer himself left as well. And then just the whole fabric of, at least the training anyway, changed. And it just changed. And a lot in between and after it happened as well. But there was a kind of an almost domino effect to me leaving CCW. I don't want it to sound like
too many guns and knives in the lockers, elbow cup.
too many guns and knives. I don't want to make it sound like I was the heart and soul of CCW, even though that was actually quoted to me once by somebody actually, which is kind of bizarre. But it's just, it is strange. It's a coincidence, but it's a strange coincidence nonetheless that once I left, it's it just had this bizarre effect on it. But I gotta say though, to a certain extent, not backstage politics, but I think
it's Ireland, not America. No racism, face with tears of joy.
But
JK.
I'll tell you one thing though, and I suppose this is kind of like a shoot interview in a way, and I'm not going to mention any names because I think that they know who they are. But there was a lot of people in CCW that just had...
You're Chad and the Jews.
They just had...
Only joking.
They had such an ego, and their ego was bigger than what it was all about, and I think they expected so much for so little, But that's another thing as well that kind of put me off. And even when I left CCW, I could just see so many people with such big egos. I mean, I saw people that could barely string together a match look at me they were going around like they were like the next
Bigger
Hulk
than Johnny
Hogan.
Wee You Ego.
Definitely bigger than that ego, and that's saying something. But they were, I'm telling you, man, they were going around with one hell of an ego. Like they couldn't even put a match together, and they were like, they were acting like they were the next Hulk Hogan, the next John Cena. I could say one name in particular, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want to. I think you know who they are, but like
They were worried about their hair more.
worried about their hair, worried about their entrance,
Cockshite, Johnny.
worried about worried about like
The big
little
C.
stuff. This is the end of the live stream. Well, like you know, at the end of the day, like that's my experience. Okay, I actually just felt like there was such a big ego, you know, from a lot of people, and like
Fun
I just
size.
I just think they needed to. I just think they needed to get a bit real, you know, instead of like going around
Rib for
thinking,
Johannes pleasure lol.
dear God, what the fuck? Okay, that's a pretty strange.
Johnny Nackle vs Logan Paul
That's a
elbow
pretty
cup.
uncomfortable segue there, no lads. A pretty uncomfortable segue. But if you look at the last few comments that you just put there, like that's just really the big C, fun size, ribbed for Johnny's pleasure. You know too much. No, I want to joke, Christ. Oh God.
Johnny walked into a woman's changing room in the gym.
that
Legend.
that happened. That happened. I did that. Cool as a breeze. Cool as a breeze. I was like, put your bra back on. Dear God. No, I was only joking. But that did happen though. My greatest moment in CCW. But
He walked out like nothing happened.
like nothing happened. It's cool as a breeze, like, you know what I mean? Cool as a breeze. Oh God.
If that was Woody Allen, oh wait.
That was the best entrance
Elbow
of
cup.
CCW. Like that's a good comment as well, by the way. Oh God. So what's in closing, because it is kind of getting late. Yeah. So even like, I think like looking back on it now, you know, like in 2021, like in February of 2021, I 100% regret my decision to leave CCW, because again I had stability, I had a routine, I was getting out of the house, I was being around people that I wanted to be around, and I was doing something, I was having fun, it was a new chapter of my life, and unfortunately, you know,
Join the new
people's
wrestling.
trying to do wrestling. Nah, unfortunately, people's negativity.
Are you still in wrestler top shape?
Oh, I was never in wrestling top shape,
Do
Chad.
you guys think COVID would have killed it if it was still around?
Possibly. I think it's after killing the other wrestling company, actually, Phoenix Wrestling. I hope they don't mind me saying that, but you know, I think that they can pretty much admit that themselves anyway. COVID has killed the arts sector anyway to begin with. But look, I allowed people's egos and negativity and bullshit basically in political politics to get the better of me. I should have taken less notice of it, and I should have just focused on myself and my reasons for being there instead of allowing other people's bullshit to get the better of me, and that's why I left. But even after I left, like, I didn't have any motivation to really. I went back once, and I left again. Actually, because when I went back briefly, I don't care if this person is listening to me, okay? Because I'm only stating a fact. I was being trained by somebody who was only being trained themselves. And I was made feel like a bit of shit by somebody who felt like they were the next Rey fucking Mysterio. And it just made me feel like shit. And I swear to God, I don't care the person's listening. I felt like slapping this person off every single fucking wall in the building. And yeah, that's just how I felt in that particular moment. Just like I was just like, who does this person think he is? You know, like I would love to see them stand in front of Paul Levesque, Triple H in NXT after getting like less than a year and a half of wrestling training, and trying to tell, like Kevin Owen how to do a fucking clothesline.
Yeah man, that's why I didn't go back. Being trained by someone that was in its same amount of time as us.
Exactly, man. I'm glad you agree, man. That's exactly it, man. I mean, somebody who is receiving the same level of training and the same time of
Damien,
training
the best
than
thing
us.
he got out, if CCW was you and your family.
Spot on. I actually, that's it, like, spot on. Like, it was one of, if not the best thing that actually came out of CCW, and I'll always be grateful for that. So that's one positive, definitely, that I can take away from the whole experience of CCW, 100%. But yeah, that's what it was. I mean, it's just like that. I think I came back once, and then there was a time where I came back and I was kind of helping out with like postering.
That's honest
and
truth.
flyering.
So forget the rest.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's the way to look at it. But yeah, it's just. My headset came out there. Let me just check if it's working again. Even though I'll be ending the live stream very shortly. My headset came out there. I have a habit of doing that, pulling the headset out. So yeah, I just didn't have any motivation to step back into the CCW ring because there was just the egos had gotten.
Thanks, man.
No bothers at all, man. No bothers at all, man. It is like literally like the
No,
most.
he loves the sound of his own voice. He even listening to it.
Pretty much. It is the best voice on YouTube right now. The voice of Green Hill Gaming. Only joking, but no, definitely that is the biggest positive to come out of all of this. And
that he always did lol.
You know well, Mighty Doctor. You know well. But yeah, what can I say? So like the egos had gotten bigger, the politics had gotten worse, and it just turned me off so much. Oh yeah, this was. I will actually leave it with this one experience that really annoyed me, properly annoyed me. Okay, this person in particular, and at this stage, I don't care if I'm actually calling this person out, and if they know who they are, everything I'm saying is true. Everything I'm saying is fact.
Would you have traveled overseas if you gotten a job at WWE?
Oh Jesus. It depends on a lot of things, Chad. I'll get to that in a second because I really want to end the live stream and get some sleep after this. But this, I think, was... I don't think I was even involved in CCW at this time. I was sitting where I'm sitting right now. And I was playing Resident Evil, The Umbrella Corps. Happy out, minding my own business. I think I was doing a live stream, actually. And I was in contact with a person who I knew very well in CCW. And let me just give you a certain backstory behind this individual, okay? When the early days of CCW, of training, when we were asked to poster and flyer to basically like promote the wrestling organization that that we all want to be a part of, and this particular person wanted to be a part of, wanted to be a wrestler, wanted people to go see him. We were asked to put posters up and flyers handed out so people would go to the shows to see us. This person, no interest whatsoever in helping out. In fact, threw all the flyers into a bin at one stage and just had no motivation to help out, right? Now fast forward, so like months and a year later, this person is like asking me to give a hand, with a wrestling ring. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to. I'm doing something. I'm not even involved in CCW anymore. And like the response I got was like pure assholey response, like, pure assholey response. Like, why don't you do something productive with your life? Why don't you help out and all this? Again, this is the same guy that just had no interest in helping out first time around. So that really annoyed me. There was more as well, I'm not going to say it. But there's, yeah. That was really fucking shitty. Really, really fucking shitty. Like, that's my shoot interview anyway. But yeah, overall, I do regret leaving, but I definitely don't regret what I got out of it. And again, what I got out of it was a great friendship.
The handshake was horrible.
Yeah. That was
LOL.
That was something. Yeah. It was one hell of an introduction, put it that way. To this day, I'm still like I've met a lot of people.
Undead face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
I'm actually speechless, to be honest. I've met a lot of people, like even in his age group, like before, during, and after. And let me tell you, I've never ever had an introduction like that. I was just, I was shocked then, and I was shocked now. I just like that's one hell of a handshake. Like, put it that way. I was like, what, like, and it's like, what's interesting is back then I just like kind of like I feel like I was violated when he talked, but it was like, what the hell? Like, I didn't know what to think of it back then, but I look back and I know, and I'm like what actually happened? Like, what was this? Like, what was the message? Do you know? Because
Metu.
yeah, I gotta get that hashtag moving
Face
for me.
with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
But like, what the hell? Like, what the hell was that? Like, it's a lot of questions that I ask now that I didn't really think about back then. Do you know? Like, I don't know. I actually kind of feel bad now if this person is watching. Like, so we don't even talk anyway. So what difference does it make? But I don't know. But all I can say anyway is
Greenhill tells all. The handshake story.
well, I have a story. That's about a hand, but it wasn't
Netflix
his hand.
original.
Netflix. Oh, you could definitely make a Netflix original about so many stories and situations with him. But let me tell you, I got a story about a hand. Not a handshake, but a hand. And it ain't my hand, and it ain't his hand, but it was somebody else's hand that connected like butter and jam to his face. And I swear to God, like it was a clatter. Like it was a fucking clatter. And the echo, oh my God, man, it was like the Big Show giving Rey Mysterio a chop. I will always remember that. And I swear to, I fucking loved it because he was pissing me off that day. And I swear to fuck, man, I was like, yes! Because I couldn't do it, you know what I mean? I couldn't do it. And the funny thing about it, man, is like it was like somebody like a quarter of his age as well. Like, so I was just sitting there and I was looking out in the kitchen. I was like, yes! Oh my God. And let me just say for the record, you fucking deserved it too. So if you are listening to this, you fucking deserved it. But yeah, that's a story about, and you can call it The Hand. That's a Netflix series waiting to happen right there. The Hand.
Ha 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 bang.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, it was more of a fucking, it was like lightning, man. It was like a fucking lightning bolt. Oh man. And do you know what though? It was the look as well. It was just the look on his face. It just was not at all expecting it. Like I wasn't expecting either. I was like, damn, but I was delighted though at the same time. I'm pretty sure he was tearing up. I hope he's listening to this now actually, because he's like, what the fuck? We're fucking telling people that story. Well, it's a true fucking story. I'm telling you, man, he was pretty much tearing up and everything. You remember that, don't you, Damien? Oh man, what a night that was, huh? Oh God.
Is that other guy still a YouTuber, the guy who said Switch would fail?
Is that Graham? Because I don't think the other guy. Oh, big guy Graham. I don't know. I know he blocked me on Facebook, but I don't know.
LOL. Yes.
Oh man, wasn't that just so funny? Like it was more shocking, but it was like shocking and funny at the same time. You know, I almost felt sorry for him, to be honest with you. But it was the fact that he was annoying me so much that day. Like I just felt like it was like, I swear to God,
Graham
it was
the
like
goat.
Graham the goat. But it was like I was like
Face
fucking.
with tears of joy.
He's more of a cow than a goat, really. To be fair, I'm sorry, Graham, but
He was an expert with a lisp.
oh stop. There'd be steaming head on top of him. I'm telling you, man, you'd be standing behind him and like steam would literally rise from
LOL savage face with tears of joy.
his neck, man. I'm telling you. Oh God, if you heard me, no, fucking hell. Like oh man, I got a story about Graham the cow and the big C. Although, from what I heard, and from his own admission,
Even a filter.
it's quite a small
Honestly,
C.
the steam from his head was so funny.
Oh, stop. But isn't that right, Damien? Isn't he more of a small C? You know, like 4-inch type. You know, the 4-incher. That's what we should call it. So I have a story about the 4-incher and Graham the cow and the bed. And that's one hell of a late night story to tell, isn't it? And my bed as well, I should point out. True story.
What was your wrestling name?
Oh God, I forgot about your my wrestling. I didn't really have one. It was I think it was the Enforcer. It was kind of like a referee type wrestler.
The Enforcer Johnny Patterson.
You damn right, boy. You damn right. No, it was just the Enforcer actually. But basically, anyway, the 4-incher decided to remember that story. Damien. Oh my God, I was never so
Hello.
shocked in all my life, to be honest with you. But basically, anyway, he decided to invite Graham, the cow, to my house himself. He was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Graham is calling over," and I was like, "You what?" EastEnders was, "You what?" You know, Phil Mitchell response, "You what?" But fucking, I am telling you, man. Comes in, right? The furniture is sitting, like beside me. I'm sitting on the far left side. Furniture is sitting beside me, right?
Ha ha ha, at least he gave you a game man lol.
Great, so still have it. Comes in, sits down on the far right hand side of it, and I'm telling you, man, it was like a fucking scene out of Titanic, man. I am telling you, the fucking bed just lifted, man. Oh, I swear to fucking Christ, man, it lifted, man. Bed still hasn't been the same since, to be honest. I don't think I've ever needed a mattress since that. But I got a shit ton of stories, man. Who wants to see more? Who wants to hear more of these stories?
Catapult.
Oh, stop the lights, man! Oh my fucking God!
Johnny
Man, stop
slapped
the
off
lights.
the light bulb.
Oh man, the 4-incher sank, and I'm hitting the fucking light bulb. He fucking sinks, and Graham was like, "What happened? What did you look at that? I want the bugger."
Johnny took steroids. Bet by a 4-incher lol.
Oh my God, man! I swear to God, if any of them are listening to me right now, I fucking. This is all a joke. This is just. Please don't take any offence to what I'm saying. If you are listening, I'm just taking the piss, and everything I've said is true, by the way, as well. Yeah. And don't start on me, because all I can say is that hand that went across your face has gotten bigger since. And yeah, I'll arrange that hand to go across your face again. Joke.
Damien,
God.
I swear he thought I was living in Cork, so added me as a friend, and all asking me what my plans was lol.
Wait, who was? Oh, Graham, was it? I'm gonna have to keep this going. Well, not no, but I'm gonna have to have a part 2 of this story.
WTFLMFAO.
Wait, who? No, who?
FR.
Which guy? Mighty
You
Dog.
big boy.
Big boy.
That's so funny, ha 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 ha.
Oh God. I'd say he was hitting on you. Jeez, I actually have a lot of funny stories to tell, to be honest. I really fucking do. And again, lads, if you are listening to this live stream, because I was made aware that the 4-incher is a fan of my channel, and that's what's really it's really kind of starting to put me off now, because I actually kind of feel bad.
He would tag me and Johnny in a group asking what games we were playing, haha.
Oh, stop. And
Johnny
then you
took steroids and looked like Gilbert afterwards.
Oh God, I feel like I have to roast myself now. I feel like I have to be called out. I think I have to call myself out. I feel bad. I feel bad for even the 4-incher thing. But to be fair, when I say 4-incher, right? The reason I say 4-incher is because he literally admitted, right, in front of
Chad
multiple.
asked, did you take steroids? The 4-incher is the disliker.
Dun! Oh my God. Dun dun dun! It was me, Johnny. It was me all along, Johnny. Oh my God, that's one hell of a twist. And yes, I take steroids all the time. Imagine. Oh my God, if
Johnny
I got this.
won't sleep tonight. He'd be thinking about all of this.
Oh, do you know what? I nearly would be. No, I do feel. But to be fair about the whole 4-incher thing, right? He literally admitted, and Damien, you're a witness to this. Yeah, you're a witness to this. Well. We won't say what we won't tell the full story now, right? But but I think that Mighty Duck might know this. But he admitted a few fucking things, right? But the only thing that matters is the fact that he admitted.
He'll write it all down like his distract.
He admitted that he's a 4-incher. Like, I mean, imagine admitting that. But we won't tell the full story there as of what he actually. But it didn't happen. Just want to make that perfectly clear. But yeah. But I feel like I should call myself out. Really, you know, I feel bad. I do. You know, genuinely do feel bad. He's summed it up like I don't need issues with it. But it's just the whole. It all started with the whole CCW thing. I just wanted to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, to be fair, like he did have a bit of an ego on him. Like, you know, to be fair, like, you know, and he just like felt like because I was no longer involved in CCW, like he kind of felt like he had to kind of this kind of like right to kind of like look at me as like some kind of like an outsider or something, like, you know. And then the whole thing with the fucking training, like, you know, I was like, come on, like you're in it just as long as I'm in it, like, you know, like fuck's sake, like. So yeah, but there's no hard feelings. No hard feelings.
You're right, Damien. He calling himself out now. Defo likes his own voice, lol.
Definitely, I have to call myself out now. What's something that? Oh yeah. Well, you know, everything I just said there about him.
Face with tears of joy. Face with tears of joy.
But you know what, lads, and this is how I'm gonna end the live stream, right? Nothing can come close to my fuck up in CCW, and it's actually, ironically enough, it happened on the night that I decided to leave CCW. Imagine being a referee and you can't even count to 3, because that's what happened to me. The lads were going over the match with me, right? And during the match, like, and which is what happens. You have to expect that as a referee. And one of the lads was telling me that this is the finish, and I got confused, and I was so distracted listening to him, and like kind of, I was like, what? But he was telling me this is the finish, and I should have counted to 3, but I counted to 2 and I paused, so they had to do the finish again, and I got embarrassed, and I literally cried, because I was just, you know, I just felt so embarrassed, and I just felt like a right fool, and yeah, so that's me admitting an embarrassing story in CCW. So, you know, I felt like I should call myself out there, like, when it comes to that. And I do want to. If you are listening to this, I haven't said your full name, by the way, but if you are listening to this, I am sorry.
Every reference makes mistakes.
But like, imagine not counting to 3. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, like, that was a massive.
It's human nature.
Fuck up. Yeah, but still, though, Jesus Christ, like, still.
Every Johnny makes mistakes. Johnny was paid.
That's a good one. What? Who told you? Who the fuck told you? That wasn't the work. That's a good one, actually. Every Johnny makes mistakes. Oh God. But no, lads, I actually do feel bad. Seriously, I doubt he's watching it, though. I doubt he's watching it. It would be very strange if he was watching it, but I doubt he's watching it. But if you are watching it, I am sorry. And I enjoyed the handshake as well. It was a nice handshake. Joke. But oh God. God, how did I end up even like in this fucking topic? Oh yeah, it was my shoot interview about my experience in CCW. I suppose all I really wanted to say was, like, my intentions for getting involved in CCW were really good, and I wanted to start a new chapter in my life, and I wanted to close the previous chapter in my life, which I felt like I was stuck in for a long time. And you know, when I got involved in CCW, as I said, I met amazing people like Damien, and many other people as well. And I was out more. I was doing stuff. I was more active. I was overall just more happier, and I really felt like this new chapter of my life had started. So it was a really good decision, and it was a really good time in my life. But as I said, you know, like, it didn't take long for me to be, for want of a better word, infected by other people's negativity. And that negativity falls under so many, you know, categories. People's big egos, you know, people's rumors, people's gossip, just everything, just such negativity. And it just got the better of me, and I just decided to leave. And I do regret it looking back on it, you know, because I missed out on so much. You know, we've been out of the house a lot more and stuff. I just, any motivation that I had for coming back was ruined by certain people's, you know, again, just their negativity didn't go away, their ego certainly didn't go away, and I was just being honest, and I just didn't like having a trainee train me. That rhymed, and I quite like it. And it just didn't. I mean, not that I'm some kind of, not that I'm cocky, not that I have an ego myself, not that I feel like I'm better. It's just, come on, like you like a train, and it honestly felt like to me like he just let it get to his head. You know, he enjoyed doing something right or doing something wrong, and like, sit down there, you can't do a clothesline, was pretty much one thing he said to me. I mean, who's he to tell me that I can't do a clothesline? So I just felt like he just had a big ego, and it kind of annoyed me a little bit. And then the whole thing with, like, you know, talking to me like a bit of shit and treating me like shit because I make a decision not to help out with the ring when I wasn't involved in CCW, and when he was involved in CCW and he wanted to have all the opportunities, he wasn't even helping out then. So that really fucking annoyed me. And everything I said after that is true as well. But overall, I didn't want to like how else can I say it? I mean, everything I said is true, and this is how I feel. So, you know, look, if that offended him or anyone else, like, it's unfortunate, but it's not that I'm having a go at anyone. It's just that it's just truly how I feel. Oh my God, what a late long live stream. 7 people. Well, I'm getting scared now because there's 7 people watching, and I'm like, you know, Jesus Christ. Is everyone just like watching me and listening to me right now? I don't like this. I don't like the fact that 7 people watching. That concerns me. Why is there 7 people watching all of a sudden? Like, why is this like? Why this is
I'm
like?
gonna go there, guys. Good night, all. College tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some sleep as well here, man. It's actually quite. I didn't realize how late it was. Listen, thanks for watching the live stream, man. Appreciate the support as always. Jesus Christ, didn't realize it was 2 minutes past 3.
Good night, man. I shave dentist at 9.30 lol.
You have a dentist as well in the morning. Fucking hell, man. I'm going to say good night to you all, and you as well, Chad. I'm going to get some sleep, and I will see you all next time on Green Hill Gaming. I'm just shitting in a case for somebody's actually watching this right now. But
elbow cup.
Oh, lads. Okay, I'm going to say good night. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.